On your home of GNFL football, Radio Mama.
And a very good afternoon. Welcome to Drennan O'Malley Motors Game Day on Radio Mama. We're the home of GNFL footy. Glenn Barnett and Peter Ferenza, and an expert commentary from Peter Bucket Keefe this afternoon. And it's round 6 of the GNFL Premiership season. We're doing it for Cube. 3 more games happening today, including this one. And Rovers hosting Brigades at Greenock Oval. And at Percher, Northampton take on Railways. That'll be a good contest there. And of course, we've got the big one this afternoon. Looking forward to seeing what happens in the game here between Chapman Valley and Towns. And it promises to be a very entertaining game of footy. There's no doubt about that. Towns are warming up at the northern end of the ground, the Northampton end of Mazzucchelli Oval. And Chapman Valley are warming up at the southern end, or the city end of the Mazzucchelli Oval. So big crowd in attendance today. It's a special day for Chapman Valley as they celebrate the 1974 grand final side. So many of the luminaries of the Chapman Valley Footy Club who are here today to celebrate that big achievement when Chapman Valley won 3 grand finals in succession. They won 72, 73 and 74 under the guidance of Owen Simpkin. Owen Simpkin, the coach at the time. Owen Simpkin is at the game today. And Chapman Valley players are playing in front of some of the greats of the Chapman Valley Football Club, including Trevor Cooper, Kevin Mazzucchelli and Wayne Proudlove, just to name a few. And it will certainly be a very, very special day for those players who are celebrating 50 years on from that grand final success in 1974. As we mentioned, it's a big round of footy, and Northampton have made 9 changes in their game against Railways today. Railways have made a few changes, and Northampton could find themselves a little bit undermanned, one would think. Railways were good last week. They went down by 6 points in a really tight contest against their opponents last weekend in Brigades. In the other game, Rovers have the work ahead of them. Rovers looking to open their account when they take on Brigades. Peter, big round of footy, and we're at the match of the day, of course, and looking forward to a big contest.
Yeah, looking forward to a big contest, and we're hoping that Towns bring it today, because Chapman Valley obviously is setting the pace this season, and they were there's a lot of expectation for Chapman Valley, but they have sort of met that to this point. But Towns have been a long way behind the 8 ball in recent years, and steadily been moving forward under the guidance of Dale Baines. They now have a new coach as well. Dale's still part of that, though, working within the club, but they had a win over Rovers a couple of weeks ago, which really was a great fillip for the club. They wouldn't have beaten Rovers for so many years, and they're going back to their rivalries in the 1990s and early 2000s. But I'm excited to see them be quite competitive today, but I still think it's going to be a hard ask to beat Chapman Valley.
And we're bring into the commentary now Peter Keefe. And Peter, it's good to see a good crowd here, and the crowds have been good at all the games we've been at this year.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's good to see the 74 Premiership side. I think Killer was the mascot, was he, Glenn?
He was, yeah. I think Killer was the mascot of 72, 73 and 74.
Oh, the famous.
And there was
Mark
some
Cups.
vision. There's some vision that they found only in the recent weeks of that grand final in 72. And Mark Cups is there. And so Mark's over there, of course, and he's mixing it with all these...
The icon of Chapman Valley.
So
like yourself, Glenn.
Oh, not quite. He's not... He's got a lot more going for him. We got the fact is that we've got also over there Peter Cups, who was a great footballer too. So you go through the side. Merv Carrot, who played footy for East Fremantle, premiership games with East Fremantle. The Knight boys, Bernie and Vince. So there wasn't a slouch amongst them, you could say. They were all pretty good footballers.
Took this footy very seriously in those days, didn't they?
Yeah, you had the Exton boys, Neil and Kevin, who were very, very good footballers as well. So you can run through some wonderful footballers that played at that time when footy was king, and you played footy during the winter and you played cricket during the summer.
Exactly.
And
a week off.
And you certainly didn't have weddings or any days off, did you?
Bali. No. Went to Bali in October.
Europe. Yeah.
So just getting on to this game, Glenn and Peter, I can see a bit of I feel like there's going to be a blowout today from Chapman Valley. I have watched, this is the 3rd time I've watched Towns. Towns, up-and-coming side, they're building, they've got very good defensive structure. But I'm just worried about their attack and who's going to kick the goals. Now, I don't know how many goals. What do you think, Pete? Glenn, 3-4 goal breeze? 4?
I'd say it's very much so, yeah. It's a pretty handy breeze, isn't it?
So I just worry that Chapman Valley on the outside with the Schofield boys, Ringo McKenna, Mitch Thompson, they're going to have too much pace and penetrating kicks in the forward line. I think 8, 9, 10 goals today.
Yes, it'll be a very interesting game. There's no doubt about it. And both sides have improved, there's no doubt about that, and it's a good test for Towns. Towns just outside the 4 at the moment, and they've beaten the sides you expect them to beat, Rovers and Mullawar. But like any side that's trying to move into the 4, they've got to beat sides above them, and it'll be good to see how they go. They play a good zone. They do structure up. We saw it Bucket when they played against Brigades. They do play a structure where they do bottle up the game and do try and play pretty defensive footy, don't they, at times? Yeah,
we watched that, and we ad nauseum we talked about it, having the whole side in one half of the ground. Very hard to kick goals when you've got no link to the forward line.
Okay, the game is not that far away, our match of the day. And, of course, we've got those other games today. And you would think, I thought prior to the game that Northampton would be favourites against Railways, but with 9 changes, Peter, it makes it pretty hard for Northampton. They brought in some younger players and some senior players, so that's going to be difficult for them. And Railways, they keep giving, and their performance last week, despite losing to Brigades, they only went down by 6 points, so they're very consistent, aren't they, the Railways boys, although they too have had a few problems with injuries and getting their best side on the park at times.
Yeah, they're honest, aren't they, Peter?
They are.
Railways are honest side. They're going to give you everything.
Looking as we go around the grounds with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and also Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. In earlier games today in the Colts, Town 6-9-45 defeated Chapman Valley 2-8-20. In the reserves, Chapman Valley 8-4-52 defeated Towns 1-5-11. In the women, Towns 3-11-23 defeated Chapman Valley 2-3-15. And in the other games being played today, up at Northampton 5-8 defeated Railways 5-7. That was in the reserves game. In the Colts at Greenough, Rovers forfeited the Colts to Brigades. In the reserves, Brigades 8-15-63 defeated Rovers 1-5-11. And the final scores of the reserves game, Brigades 6-7-43 defeated Rovers 1-8-14. We're about to get the big one underway this afternoon.
Sounds kicking to the southern end of the ground, Glenn.
Well, a pretty handy toss to win. I don't know if they won it, but that's where they're going. And, of course, we're having some fun this afternoon calling from the Great Southern Fuels broadcast truck, which is a beautiful facility. And we thank John for allowing us to use it this afternoon on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL footy. Umpires this afternoon, plenty of experience there. Steve Pratt is one of the senior umpires along with Claire Knight. So only 2 umpires today. So we're pretty happy when we have 2 umpires. I think it works pretty well. We see in the AFL where they have 4 umpires. Getting the consistency is a bit difficult. So we see that Chapman Valley are going to the northern end in this quarter, and Towns are going to the southern end, as Peter said. And we see it's probably at least a 2 or 3 goal breeze to get the game underway. Umpire is having a chat to the players, and they're about to get the one
and breeze
underway.
Coming for a northwesterly direction, Glenn, so that people know exactly what's happening.
Okay, so hopefully that's blowing up for rain. Everyone here is keen for some rain in the next 24 and 48 hours. Let's hope it goes that way, because people are getting desperate for rain and looking forward to a good start to the season after a very, very dry start, as we know.
I see Glenn and Pete, they've put Drew McGregor off the halfback onto the wing onto Jaden Schofield, so that's a slight change, just probably trying to curb his influence.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, can they curtail the Chapman Valley side, who, as Peter said, have done pretty well to this point, but this will be a test for them today, because Chapman Valley have beaten the sides you'd expect them to beat, but they also got away to a good start to the season when they got the game underway, and that game was at Brigades, and that was a margin there of only 9. Some very close game was an 11-point margin in favour of Chapman Valley. So waiting on the umpire to get the game underway, and the umpire...
He might be looking for you, Glenn. He's looking in the wrong direction.
No, I think the umpire might have went out without a whistle or something. I don't know. But the umpire is back. So we've got both umpires back on the ground now, and we're about to get the game underway. Umpire Stephen Pratt is about to get the ball in the air. Beautiful conditions here at Mazzucchelli Oval. In fact, the Oval is in very, very good conditions, and the crowd is a good one, as we mentioned. So looking forward to a big contest, round 6 of GNFL football for Cube, Glenn Barnden, Peter Ferenza and Peter Bucket-Keefe calling all the action this afternoon, as umpire Pratt about to get the game underway in our match of the day. And away we go. The big fellas go at it. Lachlan Morphew wins it to ground, goes the way of Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley quickly have the ball through the player there in Schofield. Schofield comes across the ground, picks out Mitch Mitch Thompson, who's playing his 50th league game for the Railway for Chapman Valley today, gets it on towards Bo Simpson. Bo Simpson quickly on his left boot, goes towards the boundary line, and the ball goes out of play. And the player close to the ball there was Paul Sorensen, the veteran. So the boundary umpire to put the ball back into play.
Paul Sorensen sporting a haircut like myself today, Glenn.
Yes.
In it comes now, not far from our broadcast position. Up they go, knocked down by Chapman Valley on this occasion, into space, going back now. Way of the wingman, he sends it forward. The mark is taken by Towns. Back in defence now, the Towns custodian with the ball is Atten Mason. Mason now, he sends it further afield. The wide expanses of Nabble are over here this afternoon, but only finds Bo Simpson. Bo Simpson comes inboard and finds McKenna. McKenna now plays on. They can set something up here as they come down the corridor, do Chapman Valley. The kick isn't a good one. Goes the way now of Lee Hutchins. He weaves through a couple of players. Dishes the ball out, but only goes as far as a player there for Towns. Onto a player we're expecting big things out of this season in La Rosa. La Rosa knocks it to ground, but it's Chapman Valley who have it once again. Player almost set upon. Not a free kick there, says the umpire. Goes the way now of Jay O'Brien. He tries to get it out of a pack of players, but it is bolted up once again, and the ball will be thrown up just outside the centre square here at Mazzucchelli Oval.
Only a minute and a half gone in this first term, with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton, your one-stop banking opportunity. Ball goes the way of Ringo McKenna. Ball smothered. Goes back towards the centre. Picked up by Mitch Thompson. Mitch Thompson in his 50th games had 3 possessions already. Kicks it across the ground, looking for his coach in Jaden Schofield. He's under a fair bit of pressure. In goes the Brigade's Towns player there in Callum Marquis. Puts it on his left boot. Kicks it forward. Towns player is tackled. And free kick will go the way of Bo Simpson. Player there caught in possession was William Faithful. Ball goes up towards half forward. The ball drops dead pretty quick with this breeze. Goes the way of La Rosa. La Rosa on half back. Goes up towards centre wing. Picks out a teammate. That teammate couldn't mark the ball but recovers well. Gets his kick forward. Goes up towards half forward. But once again, Kobe Simpson stands his ground. Kobe Simpson feeds a handball out. Goes the way of Ringo McKenna. McKenna goes across the ground, looking out there for Mitchell Thompson again. So Mitchell Thompson on centre wing in his 50th game. Gets it up the ground and finds his teammate there in Jay O'Brien on centre wing, just in front of the Batavia Timber Salvage scoreboard.
Jay O'Brien sends it inboard now and finds Thompson once again. This quarter brought to you by Community Bank Geraldton. Thank you for your great support again in season 2024. It's kicked out on the full on this occasion, come off the side of his boot, kicking into a breeze, a strong 3 to 4 volt breeze, probably 3 strongly, and it's coming from a northwesterly direction. So Towns have the breeze at their back. Rowan Farris coming in now. The kick isn't a good one. A death kick goes to ground. He's looking for a teammate there, and Bo Walker didn't find him. The ball spills free. Goes way of Jay O'Brien again. Jay O'Brien sends it into Hutchins. Hutchins loses possession but gains it again with the pink boots. He handballs over his head. Into space it goes. They try and knock it forward, but Towns do the better, or do they? It goes one way then the other. Out of a host of players, Ringo McKenna says, give it to me. He gets it out, but it only goes as far as a Chapman Valley teammate and gives it to Lee Hutchins. Lee Hutchins quickly gives it away to Schofield. Schofield plays on, and that shows you how strong the breeze is. Kicks into a wall of wind. The ball goes to ground now. Player trying to run onto it on this occasion is Callum Papertalk. He's unsuccessful. The Towns defenders do well to get their side out of danger. But that looked incredible, Glenn, when the ball just held up in the breeze.
It's a very, very tough breeze to kick a goal into. And certainly going to be a very, very troubling score. So the score hasn't troubled the Batavia Timber Salvage scoreboard as yet. No score on the board. We've played 4 minutes in this opening term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. Ball comes in from the boundary throw-in. Goes the way of the Towns player. Gives it to Callum Marquis. Marquis goes up the ground looking for a teammate there. That teammate there is Will Faithful, but the boundary line comes into play and there'll be a boundary throw-in on the outer side, or the broadcast side on this occasion. And we're broadcasting from the beautiful facilities, which is the Great Southern Fuels truck. Ball comes back into play. Ball throws forward. Umpire says play on, and he does. That is the player there in Callum Marquis. So Towns have the ball in their forward 50. and Chapman Valley trying to keep it out of there. So the ball's been going 5 minutes, hasn't been in the forward 50 of Towns. Towns have a very powerful 3 to 4 goal breeze at their back in this first term.
Yes, a fickle breeze though, Glenn, coming slightly across the ground from a northwesterly direction. We hope it is bringing some rain later this evening. The ball comes in now, knocked away by the Towns ruckman, goes to ground. Towns in the just outside the forward 50 in their end of the ground. A bit of a tussle here and there, and the umpire says, "Give it to me, boys," and we'll throw it up once again. As we've said, this quarter brought to you by Community Bank Geraldton, and you'll be watching us on filming footy on YouTube. The ball goes across the back line now. Bo Simpson has it for Chapman Valley. He goes to the player there in Schofield. Schofield cleverly soccers it forward, and as Glenn said, four players right on his hammer, but Schofield wins out. He's a clever player, is Schofield. As we know, he's played at a much higher level. Gives it to a teammate who runs on this occasion, and that is Kane Simpson. He's brought to ground. The ball goes back the way of the defence for Towns. Hutchins, he gets it across now to this player, Kim Schofield. He swings around. He's looking for a player on a lead. That player running out to try and mark it was Jay O'Brien, but he's outpointed on this occasion by his opposite number, and that opposite number is Aidan Mason.
Aidan Mason goes with a kick up towards the centre of the ground. Only player there's a Chapman Valley player. Dylan Williamson tries to put a handle on it. Difficult to do. He does so. Feeds it back towards Kobe Simpson. Simpson couldn't handle the ball. Comes back to a Towns player now. Eventually the ball spills out. Comes back to Williamson. He gives it away by hand to Jaden Thompson. They go backwards to go forward. Goes the way of the player there in Oakley Criddle. Oakley Criddle goes up towards centre wing, but he's picked out the Towns player in Drew McGregor, the former Brigades player. McGregor kicks the ball back up towards the half forward. Ball running free. Here's an opportunity for Towns. If Jaden Davis can pick it up. Towns player put under pressure there by Kobe Simpson. Comes out, goes the way of Mitchell Thompson again for Chapman Valley. Gets it up the ground. Finds the former premiership player with Subiaco, Brett Robinson. He gets it up the ground, finds Kim Schofield. Kim Schofield goes up the field, and the ball goes out of bounds once again. A boundary throw in. Jay O'Brien was leading the race for the ball, but there's a boundary throw in front of the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard. And after 7 minutes in this first term, no score on the board.
Ball thrown in now. Players setting themselves. Morphews does the better on this occasion, knocks it to ground. Going back the way now. The player there in Jay O'Brien, good hands, he finds McKenna. McKenna in turn to Hutchins. Hutchins puts it into space. Can this player run onto it? Unlucky. It was for Kane Simpson. Goes back the way now of McGregor. McGregor for Towns, puts it in the middle of the ground. The ball is marked there by Davis. Davis for Towns goes laterally and finds that player again. I think you were talking about Morphew. Cale Collette, I should say. Cale Collette goes further afield into space. He's looking for the speedster there in William Faithful, the former premiership player. Never a former premiership player. He is a premiership player. The ball into space now as he goes around a couple of players. Didn't have any opportunity to sortie forward as Chapman Valley gained possession once again. On the wing, it goes away of Schofield. That's Kim Schofield who comes in now, puts it onto his boot, sends it into the half-forward area. Players setting themselves. Up they go. The mark isn't taken on this occasion. Goes to ground. Players... Ball spills free. Goes away now of Corin Berrigan. Berrigan in the middle of the ground. Passes off to his coach and Bo Walker and straight down the corridor. But it goes back the way of Chapman Valley. McKenna. He gives it away now to Simpson. That's Kobe Simpson. There's a lot of Simpsons out there. What do you call a handful of Simpsons? I don't know. But the ball goes into the half-forward area. He's looking for that player there in Jay O'Brien. He's unable to mark. The ball goes to ground. Players diving on top of each other. And a free kick now will go the way of Jay Colgate. And Jay Colgate is a good goal sneak, Glenn. And he is only about 35 to 40 metres out and directly in front, but has a stiff breeze in his face.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes, Peter. As you say, the breeze is right in his face. Jay Colgate, a noted goal scorer, playing in the forward line again. And Jay Colgate, can he get a score on the board? Get the first major of the afternoon.
Keep it low if he can, I suppose.
So Jay Colgate lining up for goal. Tough kick in the conditions. Chapman Valley have had a lot of the ball, haven't got a lot of the score. Towns haven't had as much of the ball as they'd like. So Colgate kicks into the man on the mark, trying to get as close to the goals as he could. Goes back in, retrieves it. Goes the way of a teammate there in Brett Robinson. He comes across the ground, finds Schofield. Schofield goes with a short pass and finds Jay O'Brien. O'Brien goes again with a handball to Lee Hutchins. O'Brien shoots on goal. And Jay O'Brien brings the first score of the afternoon on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard. And Chapman Valley get the first score of the afternoon. It's taken them 10 minutes. And the first score of the afternoon is one behind to Jay O'Brien.
Yeah, Pete, an opportunity there for Jay O'Brien, but gee, the conditions are making the game quite difficult, Pete.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with the old mongrel torpedo. Kick it along. And like I've said the last few weeks, Pete and Glenn, there's no forward line. You look now, there's no one there.
No.
So we've got more opportunity now. Someone's going to have a shot.
Towns go forward now. This is getting into the forward 50. Kale Corlett shoots the ball up, picked up by a Towns player, and Towns have got their first score. A quick reply, and that was a very good play from Towns. The first time they've been in their forward 50, and Towns get their first score on the board, and a good bit of play there from Towns. They quickly transitioned from the back line, got it up quickly, and a good bit of play. So Towns get their first score of the afternoon. So on the Batavia Timber and Selvage scoreboard, it is 1 goal for Towns, 1 behind for Chapman Valley, and a good bit of play there from the Towns player who got the goal in Jaden Davis. Jaden Davis getting the first of the afternoon, the first major. Jaden Davis from Towns.
That stemmed from a long kick out of full-back, didn't it? The big long kicks with this wind is it's old school, probably what they did in 1972 grand final, but certainly not going to hurt to get it down there.
No, the breeze is certainly a factor this afternoon, but Towns have finally got their first major on the board, and we've gone even to halfway through this first term to see that first major materialise. Ball coming back now to the middle of the ground. This quarter brought to you by Community Bank Geraldton. A couple of weeks, Glenn. Sportshed Saturday, broadcasting live from Community Bank. We'll be celebrating 15 years of being in the Midwest.
A big effort, isn't it?
Ball back in the middle now, players setting themselves. Morphew looks the better position. He gets it away, as I thought. Goes to ground. It's picked up by Callum Marquis. A bit of a rainmaker. We need those this afternoon. He kicks into the half-forward area. Looking for a teammate there who ran onto it but was unlucky to collect it, and that was Reese Andrietta. Andrietta loses possession. The ball goes out now to the wing. It's picked up once again by Towns. They send it further afield, and luck's a fortune, as the great Brian Putter-Smith would say, but the mark wasn't taken. Comes off hands and spills over the boundary.
Glenn, that's your man there.
Yes. So the boundary umpire to come back into play and throw the ball away, or back into play. It's about 60 metres around from the left point post. The southern end of Mazzucchelli Oval, the end to which Towns are kicking in this first term. This first term with thanks to Bendigo Bank. Ball comes out, goes away over Chapman Valley players, put the ball down and didn't put it down appropriately. So the free kick will go the way of Towns. A Towns player with the ball is a player there in Bodell. So Tim Bodell, he's 50 metres out from goal, and he's going to have a ping at it for his 45-degree angle.
Why wouldn't you with a breeze at your back like this, Glenn?
Absolutely. So doing what he should do, Tim Bodell. Can he get the second score of the afternoon on the board for Towns? There goes his kick. Looks pretty good off the boot. That's what you've got to do. Let's set sail for home. But he is offline. 1 point only. Got the distance. Didn't get the accuracy. And on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Towns go to 2 goals. Go to 1 goal 1. They trail Chapman Valley. They lead Chapman Valley 1 point.
Pete, that would be a good 65, 70 metres almost.
Yeah.
That kick. It was a fair hoist.
You've got to do the opposite. You've got to kick it low into the wind and put it high with the wind.
A bit like golf, eh? Yeah, the ball on the far side now. The crowd or the spectator side of Mazzucchelli Oval here this afternoon. The Mazzuchellis will be in attendance because, of course, the 70s was the halcyon day of the Mazzucchelli brothers as they send it further afield now. Chapman Valley in front of the dugouts. Comes off hands. They keep it in their keeping and take it over in front of the dugout for Chapman Valley. And the stand today, Glenn, it is rocking here at Nabora.
Yes, the Farrell stand has certainly got a lot of people in it, and a lot of people will be interested to see how Chapman Valley go against Towns. Towns are standing up well at the moment, as you'd expect them to. Ball comes in from the boundary throw in. Chapman Valley get a kick forward, goes the way of Brett Robinson. Brett Robinson goes across the ground looking for Nick Mosley, carries that player, so now the gate's open. Towns have an opportunity through William Thorne. He's a clever player. Can he get the ball out to a teammate? The ball comes back towards Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley get it forward through Breyer and Holt. Comes back towards the player there in Ewan Whiteley, but it's picked up by Towns. Towns go forward through Tyler Collette, and the ball is taken now by Tim Bodell. So Tim Bodell has had a shot from the other side.
A lot closer this time.
He is a lot closer. So Tim Bodell's on the right half forward flank this time. This time he's only 35 metres out compared to being 55 out. So Tim Bodell is going to go back and shoot on goal. He's asking the field umpire which way he can run. The umpires this afternoon doing a great job for the GNFL, as always. Umpires Claire Knight and Stephen Pratt. So Tim Bodell sets sail for home. This time he looks pretty good, but not good enough. He goes the other side of the post this time. So another minus score for Towns. Towns 1 goal 2. They lead Chapman Valley 1 behind. We've played 15 minutes in this first term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. But Towns have got a 2 to 3 goal breeze at least at their back, although it is a very awkward breeze, it must be said.
Then I'm multitasking today. We're having to keep the score as well. So that's really pressing us, isn't it, Barndo?
It is. It's when we start adding up the tailies. That's when it really gets hard.
Yeah.
Once it gets over 10, we could be in trouble.
We've got a school teacher here.
I reckon it's over 5. The ball over the boundary now on the far side of Mazzucchelli Oval here this afternoon. About to be thrown in. Score reading 1-2 Towns. They're leading Chapman Valley just the 1 point. Towns have about a 3 to 4 goal breeze at their back. A fickle breeze though. Gusty coming from a northwesterly direction. Ball's bottled up again. The umpire goes in to relieve the pressure. Players setting themselves now. Up they go. There's Morphew again. He's won just about every knock this afternoon. To this point, I know it's only the first quarter, but he is dominating. The ball going into the half-forward area, looking for a player there to mark. Wasn't able to do so, Chapman Valley. They switch play now. Jayden Schofield came right across to get the ball on that occasion, and he's away like Usain Bolt. He kicks it down the wing now, looking for support, finds it at centre wing. So Chapman Valley have got it onto the skinny side of the ground now as they get it to McKenna in turn into the full forward area. Players setting themselves. Up they go. That player there to try and take the mark was the player there in Jay Colgate. Wasn't able to do so. The two Towns defenders do better. The ball was brought to ground and be thrown up once again. Just outside the forward 50 for the Chapman Valley side. They haven't got a major on the board yet. As it goes away now of Schofield. Schofield into space. Goes away with Jay O'Brien. He spins around on a 50-cent piece. Gets it across to the player there who did well on this occasion, Lee Hutchins. And Lee Hutchins will now have a shot on goal. Lee Hutchins, of course, played for Chapman Valley last year, but left partway through the season. Glenn.
Went to Victoria to play.
Yeah, good to see him come back. So Lee Hutchins. Looked like a thoroughbred race horse, this fella. As he comes in now. He's only about 25 metres out. Looks like it came off hands. No, it didn't.
Good kick.
No, it's missed all in
1
sundry.
point.
And through, no, not all in sundry. Goes through for the minor score. So another point for Chapman Valley. And they haven't made a major yet with the breeze at their back. Oh, into the breeze this afternoon.
It's hard kicking this end, isn't it?
Batavia Timber and Selvage Schoolwood. Towns at 1 goal 2. Chapman Valley at 2 behinds. But Chapman Valley have been able to curtail Towns when you consider Towns have the breeze. So it's been a good quarter from them. If they can keep them out in this time-on period, whistle on play. Player was being held while not in possession. Advantage rule paid, and up the ground goes Bo Walker, I should say. Gets it up the ground, looking there for Tim Bodell. Tim Bodell is run down by the Chapman Valley player, and a whistle on play. Did he get a free kick?
Yes.
Yeah, so Tim Bodell got the free kick.
He's getting closer and closer.
Yeah, so he's been from 55 metres, and then he's from 35, and now he's from 25.
Glenn,
so
as we discussed, Glenn, kicking out a full-back, play on, take 10 metres, kick 50, 60 metres.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just a long kick. Kick the ball along with the wind. It's old school.
Yes, and it's worked. They've got down there very quickly because while you're doing short passes, you can clog it up pretty quickly, can't you? When you get a couple of kicks down the end. So Tim Bodell has an opportunity to get his first of the afternoon. He's been very, very dangerous. So Tim Bodell. Can he get another goal for Towns? Pretty important as we head towards time on in this first term, thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. Tim Bodell. There goes his kick. Looks pretty good. Goal umpire signals all clear. And on the Batavia Timber and Selvage scoreboard, another score and a major to the Bulldogs. Towns are 2 goals 2. They lead Chapman Valley 2 behinds. And a good start to Towns. Starting to get a bit of value for the breeze now, but they need another couple before quarter time.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next term to really know how much the breeze is a factor.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Chapman Valley have dominated possession, and Pete, it looks very difficult to shoot at goal to the northern end. The ball is swinging and swaying around. The set shots are pretty difficult.
It's once again, we have got no windsock here. I don't know how many windsocks we go through out here. I think if anyone can design a windsock, we can put men on the moon, but we can't design a windsock that lasts longer than a season. I just cannot believe it. So if any inventors are out there, come up with a windsock that actually stays in the air for more than 1 year would be great.
Up they go now, and I think Chapman Valley got the better of that, ruck knock, but it doesn't go too far. And the umpire will throw it up once again. It is 2-2, Towns leading the Valley 2 points. And this is the first term brought to you by Community Bank Geraldton, Drennan O'Malley Motors Game Day here on Radio Mama. And also filming footy, Morphew. He's had a few possessions this afternoon, gets it out to McGregor now, the former Brigades player. You can always pick him because he's always got his socks up. We're going out into space now. This player too has had a couple of possessions this afternoon. This is Delaney, sends it in. Nice kick in the end by McGregor. Players go up. The mark isn't taken. Goes to ground. The free kick has been found to go the way of the defender. The defender is for Chapman Valley. I think it is a Chapman Valley kick. Yes, it is. So the player gets himself up off the canvas. Gives it away to Bo Simpson, one of the best defenders in the competition. Gives it to brother Kobe. Kobe looks like an Egyptian mummy, strapped up a lot there as he sends it down the line. The mark is taken by Evan Whiteley. Ewan Whiteley kicks one way then the other. They kick to the outer side. They're going crisscross here like they're sailing in the America's Cup at this stage. So they move up and down into the breeze. The ball going the way now on either side, but eventually goes the way of Towns. They kick into space, but there he is again. Kobe Simpson sends it out to Bo Simpson. Bo Simpson doesn't get on the first attempt. There's 2 to beat. He's lucky enough to get it out into space and picked up now by Chapman Valley, play on into the half-forward area. The goal here will be timely in the latter stages of the first term as the ball now comes into the hands of the Royals, into the half-forward area, and there's McKenna. Takes a nice mark. He elects to play on straight away into space. Goes away now of Callum Papertalk. He can't get a kick away. The ball is ricocheted off the defenders for Towns into space and finds the boundary. Gee, Ringo McKenna, Glenn, should have taken his time on that occasion.
He tried to get it over quickly, trying to get the ball to the next person, but unfortunately the breeze played its way, and that seems to be the problem. So the boundary umpire put the ball back into play, and it's about 11 metres around from the right point post at the northern end of the ground. Goes the way of Paper Talk, slaps it over the back, goes the way of Kim Schofield, smothered off the boot. Towns can regroup now off half back. Goes the way of the Towns player and Jaden Davis. Gets it up towards centre wing. Once again, Bodell has an opportunity. The Towns player has had a lot of the ball today. Handballed it onto his teammate. His teammate, unfortunately, got caught up with a good tackle from the Chapman Valley defence. Ball very close to the boundary line, and there'll be a boundary throw-in right on the boundary line in front of the big crowd here at Nabor Oval. Bit of pushing and a bit of shoving, and the players are coming over, and the umpires are quickly to go in there and sort it out. So the big crowd at the Chapman Valley Footy Club this afternoon didn't quite see who was pushing who and who was doing what. The umpires quickly take control.
I think that was the siren for quarter time too, Glenn.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah. So,
might be your man, Glenn, in there.
Oh, I can't believe it. he wouldn't be involved in something like that. So the ball will be thrown in and a whistle on play. And, yes, you're right, Peter. A very, very strange way for the quarter to end. Right on the quarter time break, there was a bit of a kerfuffle just in front of the big crowd, and eventually the umpires is telling people to do whatever has to be done, and whistle on play. So what's going on?
I think they're just bringing them together before they go off, I think.
No? Yep, okay. So now it is quarter time. So looking at the scoreboard at quarter time in our match of the day, Radio Mama, Drennan O'Malley Motors Game Day. That term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. And at quarter time, Towns 2-2 lead Chapman Valley 2 behinds. And you're tuned to Radio Mama. We're the home of GNFL football.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people, they're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
Yeah, you can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
For a limited time only, we've got Honda generators, free delivery until the end of this month of March only. They're super compact, reliable Japanese generators. For more information, check out our website or give us a call.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service,
and it's quarter time of the football. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Glen O'Malley Motors Game Day, and Glenn Barnden, Peter Firenza and Peter Bucket-Keefe keeping you company on a pretty windy Sunday afternoon, but we've seen some pretty good footy. 3 big games today. Rovers are hosting Brigades at Greenock, at Percher International Oval at Northampton. Railway is taking on Northampton, and our quarter-by-quarter scores, with thanks to the City of Greater Georgia and Lara Dalton. We can tell you that at quarter time, Railways had first use of the breeze, worth about 4 goals, similar to here, and Railways 6 goals, 1 lead, Northampton 2 goals, 3. In our match of the day, Chapman Valley playing Towns, and Towns had a pretty good quarter. Didn't get the score on the board as they would have liked, but Towns 2 goals, 2-14 lead Chapman Valley 2 behind, so a 12-point margin in favour of Towns going into the second quarter. Our quarter-by-quarter summaries, with thanks to the City of Greater Georgia and Lara Dalton. For Towns, Jaden Davis has one, Tim Bodell has one, and we'll get Peter Keefe to run through the better players in just a moment as we're underway in this second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack. And the umpire has to come in straight away and bounce the ball up again, or throw the ball up again. Umpire Claire Knight in control this afternoon, with umpire Stephen Pratt. Umpire Knight puts the ball into the air. Chapman Valley have the best of it. Goes the way of the hard-running player there for Chapman Valley, getting the ball forward in Dylan Williamson. He gets it up towards Ringo McKenna, and a big kick on goal, and it's only taken about 30 seconds for Chapman Valley to get the first score on the board in this second term. And a good bit of play there from Chapman Valley, winning the ball out of the centre with their big ruckman in Hoskins, and the ball goes quickly forward. As the ball comes back to the centre, Peter Keefe, who were some of your better players in that first quarter and contenders for the Skeeters Restaurant Player of the Day?
Yeah, the possessions are heavily skewed to the Chapman Valley, heavily skewed to them. So Kim Schofield with 12, Ringo McKenna with 9, Mitch Thompson with 7, and Hutchins with 7. And Bowdell was the best player for Towns with 4, McGregor with 4. Just that long kick, Glenn, we've just seen it straight off the bat. We've got a long breeze, just utilise it.
Yes, it'll be important to get the score on the board. And, of course, while you've got the breeze of 3 or 4 goals, you need to get the score on the board as quickly as you can.
Last goal scored by Chapman Valley. Getting a score on the board early with the breeze at their back. Goes away with Schofield once again. That's Kim Schofield into the half-forward area. Player is set upon, will get a free kick, was tackled a little high, so he'll get the ball and play on now. That's Brett Robinson, a likely customer, gets it out to a teammate there, and Paul Sorensen onto his boot. Geez, a big kick by Sorrow into the full forward area. I've got a couple of players. The full forward was up into the air, couldn't take the mark. The ball spills free. The defender for Towns makes sure it goes to the outer side of the oval and into space for his teammates. Goes away now of Marquis, but the whistle has sounded. I don't know what happened there, but
kicking in danger.
Okay, the ball goes back now to Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley have it. I think it's McKenna, is it?
He's had a lot of it.
So McKenna, he's going to have a kick
He's
from
going to
here.
have a shot.
He is. He's kicking it from about 55 to 60 metres here right on the boundary here at Nabwa Oval here this afternoon. But as we said, the breeze is quite strong. It comes from a northwesterly direction. The kick is a good one from McKenna. It's going to come a little bit short. Or does it? Yes, comes off hands and through for the minor score. So another point on the board to Chapman Valley, but they're starting to score, Glenn, and looking ominous.
Looking at the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Chapman Valley a 1-2. They trail Towns 2-2 as Towns bring the ball back in once again. Towns bring it up along the scoreboard side of the ground. The Chapman Valley Tavern side of the ground goes the way of Marquis. He goes the way of Bodell. Bodell throws the boot to ball, goes the way there of William Faithful, very close to the boundary line, and just in front of the Batavia Timber and Timber Selvage. And we can tell you that the scoreboard. And what is the score, Peter?
It is 1-3 Chapman Valley, trailing Towns 2-2.
Okay.
Ball coming in now from the outer side, players setting themselves. Chapman Valley looking the better in this term. Goes away now Schofield, racking up kicks this afternoon. I think Pete said he had a host of possessions already in the first term. That's Kim Schofield. Shrugs off his opponent, puts it onto his boot, is dealt with, he gets rid of it. Nice big kick into the half-forward area. Going away of Chapman Valley, one way then the other. Goes away of that player again that I mentioned earlier, in Brett Robinson. He collects it, he sends it inboard now, but the ball goes over. Free kick going the way, of Towns in the back line. Player taking the mark, that's Rowan Farris, I think, who kicks it out toward the boundary and finds the boundary in the end to be thrown in. But that's what Towns are going to have to do, Pete. They're going to have to kick it wide and out into space.
Yeah, hard work in the wind, isn't it?
It is very hard indeed. The ball coming in now.
Even hard for the boundary umpire. The boundary umpire has to come in a few metres and throw it again because it almost went back over his head.
We just had a request. Sorry, Glenn. We just had a request from shout out to Glenn Schofield, who doesn't travel well out to the valley, so he's good on his scurry at home.
Yeah, having a good afternoon, Glenn. Good to have you listening and watching.
Along with a host of people that are watching on Filming Footy.
Yeah, ball comes off half back now, goes the way now of Jaden Davis. And as we know, Towns are working hard, goes the way of Kim Schofield, gets it away, smothered off the boot. Once again, a pack around the ball. Ball comes back. Chapman Valley player caught, couldn't get rid of it. Umpire says play on. Ball spills out, goes the way of Chapman Valley big man and Braden Hoskins. Ball comes out this time to Towns. Towns get it up towards the centre, but it's picked up again by Chapman Valley's Bo Simpson. Bo Simpson puts it on his left boot, kicks it up towards half forward, and Chapman Valley take a good strong mark. And Chapman Valley will shoot on goal from 30 metres out, almost dead in front. So Chapman Valley have an opportunity now, and it's Jay Colgate. He had a shot on goal from the other end, kicking into the breeze, has an opportunity to get his first goal of the afternoon. And as we said, a noted goal scorer. So Chapman Valley could take the lead by 1 point if he kicks this goal, if he can kick a goal. So Jay Colgate lining up for goal. Chapman Valley have had 4 scoring shots.
You nail this one, Glenn.
Towns have had 4 scoring shots, and we've played some 6 minutes in this second term. With thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack, and Jay Colgate used the breeze beautifully. He put it through the centre, and Chapman Valley get their second goal of the afternoon. Chapman Valley on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, 2-3, lead Towns 2-2.
So Pete, as you predicted, I don't know if it was on air or off air, but you knew that in the first term the use of the ball would indicate that once they had the breeze at their back, Chapman Valley would start to make an impression on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, looking at the indication of the possessions in the first quarter, how much the Chapman Valley had the ball, you'd like to think they're going to kick a bundle, but it is, Pete, it is blustery conditions and very hard to work the ball back into the wind, and Towns are trying their guts out, and it's very difficult to move the ball and kick the ball with any distance.
Yeah, so was using the analogy a little bit earlier on. It was like tacking up and down in the America's Cup earlier on, the way they were coming down the ground. The ball off the half-back line now goes the way of Towns into space, looking for this player. He runs onto it, and William Faithful. He doesn't get the ball, though. Goes away of a teammate. He runs down the line now and does it quite easily. And Matthew Thompson gives it to Ringo McKenna. He's got a lot of possessions early in this game as Ringo McKenna, a pretty noted player. Of course, he's noted at a lot of sports, is Ringo, a noted cricketer as well. The ball finds the boundary after that passage of play. But centre wing now, about to be thrown in. Into the breeze, one would think. Look at it hold up there. Now it comes down. It's knocked down by Lockie Morphew. He's the tallest man out on the ground today. He slaps it down into space. Players trying to get on top of it. Bodell does the best on this occasion. He kicks it forward for Towns and finds the boundary once again.
So the boundary umpire will throw the ball back in. So the boundary umpire on this side of the ground is earning his keep very much so. So the boundary umpire come in a few metres and throw the ball in again. So Towns have got it in their half of the ground. They haven't been forward too much in this second quarter against the breeze. Goes the way of Morphew, wins it to ground. A Chapman Valley player there in Schofield throws himself in, so too does Morphew. Good tackle put on him by Dylan Williamson, and the umpire will come in and throw it up. In fact, the player that was tackled there and tackled well was Peyton Mason. They go at it again. This time Morphew wins it to the ground, goes to Marquis, goes to Mason. Mason kicks it up towards half forward, looking there for William Faithful. Faithful slaps the ball forward. In goes Bodell again, whistle on play, and a free kick will go the way of Kim Schofield. So Kim Schofield has the ball on half back.
I think Pete would be nearly the biggest possession getter on the field at the moment,
that's up to 16. He's well and truly in front.
Goes up towards half forward. Once again, Towns have the numbers. Towns come out of trouble and kick it up the field, and Towns player does well. Gets it the way of Lockie Morphew, the big ruckman. So Morphew getting the ball up the ground. Kicks it up along the boundary line. Looking there for Faithful, but coming back with a flight of the ball, Ewan Whiteley does well. Ewan Whiteley plays on now, kicks it back to whence it came, and the Towns player couldn't mark the ball. Goes through his hands as Cameron Hoffhammer comes out the back, goes the way of Jay Colgate. He's got 2 to beat, throws himself in. Umpire has no option but to come in and throw the ball up. Time ticking by in the second term. We've played some 7 minutes with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack, on Trent O'Malley Motors Game Day on Radio Mumma, the home of GNFL footy. And just looking at the score, Chapman Valley 2-3, lead Towns 2-2.
Yeah, still a close affair at this early part of the second term. The ball into space. Running onto it is Dylan Williamson. He's able to get possession. Towns player moves underneath him, grabs the ball and goes to ground. And he is a recipient of a free kick. So off the half-back line now, the ball is with Towns. Down the wing it comes. DeLacy, I think it is, kicks it up into the air. The mark is finally taken and awarded to Bo Simpson, the former Rovers player. Premiership player for the Demons. Bo Simpson goes inboard now, finds Schofield. Probably possession number 32 just about as he kicks it into the half-forward area, looking for support in there. Player trying to run onto it on this occasion is Colgate. He's unable to collect it. The ball goes to ground. A bit of a pack develops. The umpire says we'll throw it up once again.
Pete Kane Simpson is the number 5. Is that the younger brother?
Yes, he's the younger brother.
Yep. So all Simpsons are out there. Up they go now. The ball, that is, knocked down by big Chapman Valley. Ruckman on this occasion goes to ground. Picked up, goes forward again. Eventually goes the way of Dylan Williamson onto his boot, straight down the corridor. But Towns defence are equal to the task as it goes to the broadcast side. It used to be the broadcast side. It is now the crowd side of the ground, where most of the crowd is this afternoon, with this Heritage Round match. Ball into the half-forward area. Goes away of Jaden Schofield. Kept quiet so far this afternoon, but only needs about 10 minutes to make something happen, that player. Ball going the way of Rowan Farris, I think it is. In fact, it's DeLacy. DeLacy into space, into the half-forward area now. Towns have an opportunity to get into the half-forward area. Nice mark is taken by De La Rosa. La Rosa into the half-forward area, inside the forward 50. The bounce is in kind for the player running in to try and collect it on this occasion. And that player is Jaden Parsons. He gets the ball, he sends it inboard. And it's cut off on this occasion by the player there for Chapman Valley in young Byron Holt.
Byron Holt kicks it up towards the centre where he finds Ringo McKenna. McKenna handballs the ball away. Appeared to be held while not in possession. Play on's the call. Goes the way of Kobe Simpson. Gets it up the ground to a teammate there in Mitchell Thompson. He goes the way of the player in Brett Robinson. Robinson centres the ball and finds Mick Horseman. Horseman plays on with a short pass. Awkward kick. Gives Towns an opportunity through Rowan Farris. Farris gets a handball out to a teammate, and Towns are out of trouble briefly. Goes the way of Lachlan Morphew on centre wing. Scoreboard side, kicks it up the ground, where he picks out a teammate, and that teammate has got the ball now in Cale Collette. Collette asking his teammates to run by, give him something. So Collette kicks off the boat, and the ball's smothered. And good smother there from Mitchell Thompson from Chapman Valley. So middle stages of this term, and Towns are doing well. Towns are keeping Chapman Valley at bay. And on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, also the Morris Webb scoreboard, it is Chapman Valley 2 goals 3, lead Towns 2 goals 2.
Just a point in it here in our Drennan O'Malley game day. This quarter brought to you by Melissa Price, a member for Durack. Of course, the boundaries for Durack's changed this week, Glenn, so they've shrunk. We've got less people, but a wider area. So the ball into space now, and Towns able to run onto it, and there it is, Bodell trying to knock it forward, and the umpire says no prior opportunity, and she will throw it up. So metres away from our broadcast position here for Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football. Morphew, he's been a power of strength this afternoon, goes away of the player there who knocks it forward in Dylan Williamson for Chapman Valley. Into space, goes paper talk now. He's quickly brought to ground, caught in possession, well and truly, and a free kick will go the way of McGregor. McGregor off the half-back line now. A nice kick. He sends it inboard and finds the arms there of Joshua DeLacy. DeLacy goes laterally now. Towns, good decision-making as they go across the ground and send it back inboard. The ball in the middle of the ground is picked up by Schofield. Quick hands, he gets it to McKenna. Ditto for him too as they get it out into space now. Goes the way of Colgate. Colgate sees Paper Talk on the lead. Will he meet the ball? It goes toward the boundary. He's not clever enough. He can't judge the bounce, and it goes over the boundary. As we go around the grounds with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. Quarter time of the game out at Greenough, and Brigades 3 goals 6-24. Lead Rovers 1 goal straight. Rovers had the wind in the first quarter. Just repeating the other score from the other game. A pretty interesting scoreline. Railway 6 goals 1, Northampton 2 goals 3, and a pretty good scoreline across the board. And in that first game, Railways, they had the breeze, which was worth 4 goals in that first term. And do we have a score from Greenough Oval, Glenn? Yeah, we do, and a pretty interesting score it is too. But yeah, we see that it was a pretty good situation, and the score is Brigades 3-6-24, Rovers 1 goal. Ball going forward now for Towns, but Chapman Valley through Colgate. Gets it again into Ringo McKenna. He's getting a lot of ball this afternoon. Almost caught in possession himself on that occasion. Goes back the way of Towns. That player is certainly bottled up, then would say. Did he swing him around 2 or 3 times, England? He did. He certainly tried to break the tackle. The umpire was quickly onto that one. Whiteley off the back line now. Kicks it into the half-forward area. Nice big kick by the youngster. Up they go. Was a mark taken. The ball goes to ground, and the defender is awarded the mark. He plays on now for Towns. They go lateral again. They're holding, aren't they? Towns, kudos to Towns. They really have played well this quarter. They know how to defend, that's for sure. So the ball going back for Chapman Valley into the full forward area over the head of all and sundry, and through for the minor score. So that's another point on the board for Chapman Valley. That takes them to 2 goals 4, and Towns 2 goals 2. So Towns to bring the ball out of defence, but as Peter has mentioned, Peter Keefe, that they are defending well. They do that very, very strongly. Chapman Valley have an opportunity now through Vic Horseman. He centres the ball. Chapman Valley have an opportunity. Jay O'Brien gets Chapman Valley's 3rd goal of the afternoon. And on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Jay O'Brien gets the 3rd goal of the afternoon and gets his 1st goal of the afternoon. And Chapman Valley, 3 goals 4, lead Towns 2 goals 2. And we've played some 15 minutes in this second term with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack. Probably a little bit long in between drinks, you'd think, Pete, knowing that the breeze is so strong. Yeah, they've been defending very strongly, Towns, and that's what they do, and Glenn alluded to that before, fighting hard, and you feel as though we thought that they would kick away, and it felt like that at the start of the quarter, but they've really doggedly fought hard, Towns. Peter Bucket-Keefe bringing you special comments here today on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football. Don't forget to join us each and every Saturday from 8:30 for Sports Shed Saturday, incorporating Footy Forum and lots more each and every Saturday, only on Radio Mama. Mama.net.au, the ball coming out in the middle now. Towns have the best of it. That comes away now of Corlett. Corlett into the half-forward area. Gee, he watches the ball well. He reads it well. Bo Simpson takes a timely mark. Trying to do some work up front is Simpson, the coach, puts it inboard. Gee, a nice mark too is then taken by Jaden Davis. He's the last one to score for Towns. He has scored for Towns. A good build on him too, hasn't he, Pete? So, he's got a hoof on him too, so he might give us a crack. So Jaden Davis, he's about just over 50. He'll come in, he'll be about 45, nearly 40 when he gets onto this one. Kicking
use the mark-up.
Right in front, or directly in front, I should say, not on an angle at all. Gee, the kick isn't a bad one. It's going to hold up into the breeze. Good there mark. He is. Bo Walker comes out of the back pocket and takes a nice mark. Going to go for the banana kick. Oh, he'll nail this one. They'll nail anything. They'll do this. So Bo Walker going to go in for the check side kick, kicking toward the northern end, right in front of our broadcast position. Bo Walker, former Northampton Premiership player, looks pretty good. No, too far to one side. Didn't get the angles right on that occasion and through for the minor score.
Batavia Timberland Salvage scoreboard. Towns are now 2 goals 3-15. They trail Chapman Valley 3 goals 4-22. Boundary umpire goes to retrieve the ball. No, he doesn't. The crowd will go and get the ball, and the ball will be brought back in. So we could be waiting a while. So the ball will come back in, and time ticking by in this second term.
Interesting to see how he kicks this. Going to kick it along down the centre. No,
goes with a short pass and gets Oakley Criddle. Oakley Criddle in the back pocket for Chapman Valley, going down the club room side. Goes with another short pass. Logan McGregor knocks the ball forward and goes towards the outer side. And a good bit of play there
Am I right
from Drew McGregor, I should say.
Oakley Criddle is the captain of Chapman Valley this year, or is he in the captain setup?
No. Ringo McKenna.
Ringo's the captain.
Yeah, but he may be vice captain.
Yeah, perhaps.
They all seem to have about 3 or 4 vice captains these days.
Here we go.
Ball goes the way of the player there in Lee Hutchins. Lee Hutchins kicks it up towards the goals, up towards half forward. Chapman Valley trying to get the ball moving. They do now through young Simpson, playing his first game for Chapman Valley.
Beautiful kick.
And a good bit of play there from the young player. And Kane Simpson gets his first goal on Chapman Valley colours. Played for Rovers last year. I think we saw his debut for Rovers too, Peter.
Yeah, we
did. He played pretty well that day. He's a good player. He's in Perth going to college. He's home for a couple of weeks. And he's playing his game with his brothers this afternoon, Kobe and also Bo. But that was a beautiful goal from Kane Simpson. So on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, we see that Chapman Valley are 4 goals 4-28. They lead Towns 2 goals 3-15.
Starting to open it up a little bit, Chapman Valley, Pete, and that was a good example of how strong the breeze is and how you can use it.
Well, I guess now people are so used to wanting to keep possession of the ball. They chip, but you don't need to chip today. Kick the ball long. It's keep going on about it.
Yes.
Ball back in the middle now as we head to the second part of the first term, heading to the big break here at Mazzucchelli Oval here this afternoon. Ball into space, running on now. There's a player there, Lee Hutchins. That's a beautiful kick by Lee Hutchins. That was just, well, I was going to say Harley Reid-esque as he came out of the middle and straight down the middle, and a beautiful kick by Lee Hutchins. And that's what he's in the team for, Glenn. He's got a beautiful kick on him. He's got a beautiful bit of pace, and he used it to what he's intended to do on that occasion.
A good bit of play there. His teammates were calling for it, but he knew what to do, Peter.
Kick long.
He kicked long, and he used the breeze beautifully.
I've got to stop saying that all day.
And on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, here at Mazzucchelli Oval, in our match of the day, Grenon O'Malley Motors Game Day, on Radio Mum, the home of GNFL footy. Chapman Valley are 5 goals 5-35. They lead Towns 2 goals 3-15. So in the first quarter with the breeze, Towns kicked 2 goals 2. And Chapman Valley with the breeze so far have kicked some 5 goals 3. So Chapman Valley now getting value for effort. If they get another goal or 2 before half-time, they would be pretty happy going into the half-time break.
They certainly would, and that was a great goal by Lee Hutchins.
Pretty to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chapman Valley happy that he's back in the lineup. Could have been lost to the Eastern States football competitions. The ball back in the middle now. No one wins it. Goes to ground. Lockie Murphy working hard on the ground. Tries to get it to Bo Walker. The whistle does sound, and it looks like it is a free kick going the way of Chapman Valley. Williamson gets it away on this occasion to the teammate there, and Robinson. Robinson into the half-forward area, but Towns' defence continue to hold sway. Rocket Gibraltar back there, you could say. We're going toward the boundary. They don't give up. They just don't give up. Going the way now of Towns as they kick across the face of goal, but find the boundary. McGregor not quick enough, and the ball will be thrown in deep attack now for Chapman Valley.
In the left forward pocket at the city end of the ground, or the southern end of the ground, the end to which the goals are easy to kick, and the boundary umpire to put the ball back into play. Lots of players. Once again, we see all players are forward of centre at the end to which the breeze is blowing, so it's pretty hard to come back through that pack. and the ball comes through, and already the umpire has to come in and throw the ball up because there's a big pack developed.
Just having a look at the oval here. It's always wonderful, Mazzucchelli Oval, Glenn, but I think, is Mazzucchelli Oval the only oval now in the GNFL that doesn't have the AFL taller goalposts?
Yeah, I'd say so, yes. Well, we need
all the other grounds do, I think.
Despite the fact that we had a Cyclone Saroja come through here, you think we would have got some goalposts as well, wouldn't you?
We would have.
The ball comes forward, goes the way of Towns' defence. Towns have it now. Yeah, they're massive goalposts, aren't they? The AFL goalposts.
Mm-hmm.
They go forward, but it probably end up like the windsock out here. We get a lot of wind. Ball comes. Phil Clayton used to call it Windy Hill because it was.
And he was big Essendon man too, so
yes,
he knew a bit
that's
about
right.
Windy Hill.
Yeah. The ball comes the way of Chapman Valley. Have it on centre wing. Ball very close to the boundary line. And once again, the boundary umpire comes into play. So the Chapman Valley supporters, and there are many here on the Farrell balcony this afternoon, enjoying the game. We're into time on now, so time running out for another score. But just looking, 35 plays 15 in favour of the Royals, the home side here at Mazzucchelli Oval. Ball comes back in from the boundary thrown once again, very close to the boundary line. And La Rosa puts the tackle on, but the whistle on play, the ball is out of play, and the boundary umpire will throw the ball in once more.
The ball on the side where the crowd is this afternoon, a big crowd celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 1974 Premiership. Ball coming in now for Chapman Valley, that is. Part of their three-peat, wasn't it, Glenn?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so they were halcyon days for the Royals as the ball goes back toward the boundary again. Jaden Schofield's been a bit quiet, Pete.
Has quietened down a little bit this quarter. Still 19 possessions, but it has quietened down a bit.
I think Kim's getting a lot more possessions than his brother at this stage.
Oh, sorry, Jaden, 6, yep. Quieter.
Jaden is very quiet, but as I said, he can turn things around pretty quickly. Ball coming in now. Towns get it first, but quickly throw it out like it's a hot potato. As it goes into ground now, Chapman Valley player dives on top of it. It's quickly brought to ground. I think that player is Robinson once again, and he gets a lot of the ball. He's a likely customer, and the ball will be thrown up just outside the centre square. So time ticking away as we head to the big break here in our Drennan O'Malley Game Day. This quarter brought to you by Melissa Price, the member for Durack. Up they go. Lockie Morphew's been pretty good this afternoon. He's won most of the knocks, but hasn't had the support that probably he deserves as the ball goes forward, and a free kick has been awarded going the way of Towns. So
Tim Bodell.
Glenn's man.
Tim Bodell's had a few free kicks, Glenn. You can
They look after him. I've told him, look after my man. So Tim Bodell has the ball on centre wing, goes by hand, picks it out a teammate. The teammate gets it up the ground, gives it the way of Paul Schofield. Schofield, not Paul Sorensen. He gets it away. It goes the way of La Rosa. Comes back to Towns. Towns get the ball forward. Gives Bo Simpson something to look at, and Bo Simpson does it very well.
Very good.
Goes the way to his brother.
He's good every
Kane
day,
Simpson gets tackled, and Kane Simpson is caught in possession. So a good bit of play there from the Towns defence, and the ball goes the way of the Towns player, and goes the way of La Rosa. La Rosa gets it on towards Callum Marquis. Marquis gets it on towards William Thorne. William Thorne shoots towards goal, and William Thorne has kicked the point. So on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, Towns are 2 goals for 16. They trail Chapman Valley 5 goals 5, 35. And we've played 25 minutes in this second term with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack.
Kobe Simpson sends it down the middle of the ground, but it comes back the way of Towns off the boot into the half-forward area. They're lucky again as it's picked up by the youngster there in Byron Holt. The famous Holts, of course, of Northampton fame and Shark Bay. East Fremantle. Got some pedigree there as the ball goes forward again for Chapman Valley. One would think they might need another goal in this term to get value for effort with this strong breeze. There's Kim Schofield. He's all at 6s and 7s, brought to ground. The free kick will go the way of Towns, and it looks like it is McGregor who has the ball. So McGregor now, the dying stages of the second term, I should say, sends it inboard. Nice mark there, taken by Jaden Parsons. He plays on now, although he holds on to it, I should say. Jaden Parsons. Gee, not a great kick.
It's a Barry Crocker.
Yeah, a bit of a shank on his number 7 iron, finds
There's
the
the
boundary,
siren.
and there's the siren to announce that it is half-time in our Drennan O'Malley game day. And at half-time, Glenn, it is, you've got the score right there, so we better make sure it's correct. At half-time here, it's...
Batavia Timber and Selvidge scoreboard. Chapman Valley 5-5-35, lead Towns 2-4-16. And you're tuned to Radio Mama. We're the home of GNFL football.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
For a limited time only, we've got Honda generators, free delivery until the end of this month of March only. They're super compact, reliable Japanese generators. For more information, check out our website or give us a call.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
For a limited time only, we've got Honda generators, free delivery until the end of this month of March only. They're super compact, reliable Japanese generators. For more information, check out our website or give us a call.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
And a very good afternoon. Welcome back. Half-time at the football. Drennan O'Malley Motors Game Day on Radio Mama. We're the home of GNFL footy with Glenn Barn and Peter Fiorenza. Peter Bucket keeping you across all the action. Round 6 of GNFL footy. The season being run and won. And this round is sponsored by Cube, and we thank Cube for their support of the GNFL. Half-time scores around the grounds with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. At half-time at the game at Northampton at Percher International Oval, Northampton 7-3 lead Railways 6-4. And in the other game, a interesting scoreline there, and Brigades and Rovers playing there, and we're looking at what is happening in that contest. And we look at the score, and at half-time, Railways 7-3. This is a game at Northampton. Railways 7-3, Northampton 6-4.
Just shows you there's one end they're kicking the goals at, isn't it?
Yes, and the other game, Brigades 5-8, 38 lead Rovers 2-2-14. So 5-8 to 2-2. We're out underway in this third quarter. The Premiership quarter, Drennan O'Malley Motors Game Day. Ball comes the way of Simpson. Kobe Simpson goes by hand. Looking there for Schofield. Ball carries him. And a big opportunity now for LaRosa, the big fella from Towns. Grabs the ball. Tries to break a tackle. Eventually he gets rid of the ball. Comes out and Towns can clear now. Have the ball on centre wing through McGregor. Drew McGregor kicks the ball up towards half forward, looking up there for some movement. Chapman Valley have it through defence. Chapman Valley player gets in the way of Schofield. He gets knocked out of it. Comes back to Towns and LaRosa. LaRosa, big kick. This is a big quarter for Towns. They need to be close or if not in front at quarter time. Picked up by Bo Walker.
Nice
and
kick.
Bo Walker gets the first score. It only took about 30 seconds.
Kick.
And Bo Walker gets the first score of the afternoon for himself at a very important goal for Towns. And on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, Towns are 3 goals for 22, and they trail Chapman Valley 5 goals for, but a great way to start the term.
That was a bit like a bit of a 3-iron there, Pete. He had timing perfection, didn't he?
Yeah, beautiful kick. He took his time and lined her up. Just quickly, possessions winners. Kim Schofield's up to 20. Ringo McKenna, Mitchell Thompson's going very well. And Lee Hutchins had a great second quarter. Bo Walker's playing very well. Bodell and Drew McGregor for Towns.
And as we said, Jaden Schofield yet to get into the game, so he's being kept pretty quiet this afternoon to this point. But the goals are still coming. And Towns have pegged their way back in the early stages of this term. So ball back in the middle now. On the way, Kobe Simpson playing inboard, gets it away to Ringo McKenna. He's looking for Kane Simpson. He judges the bounce well, does a youngster. Gets to a teammate, puts him under all sorts of pressure though, and he's brought to ground. The ball in this particular term, the Towns are kicking toward the southern end with about a 4-goal breeze at their back. Chapman Valley toward the northern end, up against a stiff breeze, as we've indicated, from a northwesterly direction. Ball coming out into space now. It's picked up on this occasion by the player there in William Thorne. Willie Thorne kicks it into space, but Chapman Valley defenders picking it up.
All Towns.
Down the line, players setting themselves. Schofield is the only Chapman Valley jumper in that pack of players, so hence he wasn't able to get the ball. Goes away Bodell now. He's quickly brought to ground, tackled. One would think almost caught in possession. No, it's played on. In fact, the ball was with William Faithful, not Bodell. And a free kick was not awarded, but will be thrown up. The ball will be thrown up just outside the centre square on the far side of the wide expanses of Mazzucchelli Oval.
And just repeating that score from Northampton, in fact, Railways are in front. Railways are 7-3. They lead Northampton 6-4 at half-time. So just an understanding there that Railways leading at half-time. We have Brigades leading at the game at Greenough and Chapman Valley leading at half-time by 19 points. And then we saw Towns' Bo Walker kick the first goal of this third term, the Premiership quarter, and Drennan O'Malley quarter. So now the margin is 13 points. Ball back into play just in front of the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard. Chapman Valley player is tackled, had no prior opportunity. Ball held to him. That player is Ringo McKenna. Umpire Pratt to put the ball into the air again.
Glenn, the young fella Morpheus, but dominated the ruck all day today.
He has,
so
yes.
He's really going well.
Going well. Gets the ball forward. Unfortunately, Kim Schofield copped a ball in the face.
He's still down. I'll watch him, Glenn. You watch the game.
As Towns go forward again through Corin Berrigan. He gets it up towards half forward. And Towns have an opportunity if they can
Kim's
pick the ball up.
He's up at it again.
He's as tough as old boots. Goes the way of the Chapman Valley player gets a handball back over his head, goes back towards the player there for Chapman Valley, working hard in Lee Hutchins. Big pack around the ball, and a good bit of play from both clubs. Umpire Knight will come in and throw the ball up. So the game is evenly poised. Towns have the use of the breeze in this quarter. Pretty handy breeze, worth at least 3 goals, we would think, favouring the city end of the ground, the southern end. The Chapman Valley going to the northern end, but we've seen very few goals kicked against the breeze. Picked up now by Schofield, gets it upfield to the player there, and Sorensen. He goes by hand to Hutchins. Hutchins gets his kick towards the hard-running Jake O'Brien, feeds it out towards Kane Simpson. Kane Simpson
Beautiful
shoots on goal, and Kane Simpson gets a goal. It's his second of the afternoon for the young man, playing his debut game for Chapman Valley. And Chapman Valley get that one back that Towns kicked earlier on, and a good bit of play there from Chapman Valley.
Glenn and also Peter, I love watching unselfish play, and in that occasion, Jay O'Brien, he had everything in front of him, but he knew that the little fella was on the run and passed it off.
Yeah, he's got some skills. This little fella, Stephen Simpson, I think his dad, I played with him in Mullawa. He had a lot of skill and ability as well. So, all the Simpson boys are playing well today. A couple of guys in the back line playing well as well.
Ball back in the middle now, and so back to the status quo somewhat.
Yeah, on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Chapman Valley are 6 goals 4. They lead Towns 3 goals 4.
You have to work hard into that win, don't you? They did well then.
They certainly did. And Jay O'Brien is certainly one of the better players on the park for mine. The ball in the middle goes away of Schofield. Gets it out to this player again, Kane Simpson. Gives it away to a player there who plays on this occasion, Brett Robinson. Back to Rango McKenna. The ball coming inboard now is cut off though by Marquis. Marquis, we're expecting a big season from him. He's been a senior player for a little while now, and obviously a bit more experience than his years, one would think, as the ball goes toward the boundary, and it is taken over by Faithful. So the ball about to be thrown in the southern end, the wide expanses of Mazzacali Oval here this afternoon. A big crowd in attendance, Glenn, because it is a special occasion.
Yes, the 1974 grand final reunion. It was the end of a trifecta of very good years, 72, 73 and 74. And during those premiership years, about 12 players played in all 3. I guess that's the secret of longevity and having success. As Towns go forward again with the breeze at their back in this third term. Opportunity now. Towns player has the ball knocked away from him. Comes back towards another Towns forward. Chapman Valley defenders working hard, and a pack develops. So just looking at the scoreboard, Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, it is Chapman Valley 6 goals 5, 41. Towns 3-4, 22. The margin still 19 points as it was at half-time.
Big ruckman was Wayne Proudlove, wasn't it, Glenn?
It was Owen Simpkin and Wayne Proudlove. Yeah, Wayne Proudlove was sort of like a ruck rover in those days.
He was.
He was sort of the modern-day ruck rover. He could also ruck, but Owen Simpkin was the ruckman. Bernard Gray was the ruckman, and also Mick Bell. He used to do a bit of rucking as well.
I saw old Mick up there.
Yes.
The ball now with Jaden Davis, I think it is, or is it with... I think it's Jaden Davis who has the ball now.
Number 2. Who's number 2?
Yeah, Jaden Davis is about to kick in. He's kicking from about 45 when he gets onto this one. Nice kick.
Beautiful kick.
Nice straight kick. Was it straight enough? No, not. It goes to one side and 3 for the minor score. So Towns starting to pepper away in the third term.
Chapman Valley are 6 goals 5, 41. Towns are 3 goals 5, 23. So it's a 3-goal ball game. 18 points the margin. Middle stages of this third term were thanks to Drennan O'Malley Motors. This ball comes out of play. Goes the way of Jaden Schofield on the half-back line. Gets a short pass, finds Kobe Simpson. Kobe Simpson, the player with a helmet, goes across the ground looking for Nick Mosley. Nick Mosley has the ball on the back pocket. Kicks it up towards centre wing. Puts Towns in with an opportunity, but you haven't really have the numbers. Goes the way of Bo Simpson. Gives it to brother Kane. Kane runs through traffic. Pretty to watch. Kane Simpson gets a handball away. Goes the way of Ringo McKenna. Ringo McKenna gets the ball out just in the nick of time. Ball goes back towards Towns. Good tackle put on him. Towns have an opportunity now. Big handball goes the way of La Rosa. La Rosa from the centre of the ground gets a big kick up towards half forward, looking up there for some movement. Towns had an opportunity. Chapman Valley defence sees the ball across the boundary line, and Oakley Criddle sees the ball.
Then I'll throw another name at you, Trevor Cooper.
Yeah, great player. Played 300 and
taught his granddaughter a couple of years ago, and I found out a little bit more about him. So he was
number 5 he used to wear, and I used to wear a number 5 as a in those days. I used to like him. Used to wear long sleeves, and he was back pocket. He used to play really good footy, and very, very doer. And then I was lucky enough when I was playing reserves footy. He was a coach for a couple of years, so I enjoyed that very much.
Rose Cottage stud, was it, Glenn?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
There you go. So a lot of those boys along here.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see them, and it's great. Their camaraderie 50 years later, and they talk about, winning grand finals and the importance of winning a grand final. It's so special for these blokes to catch up.
Mates
and
for
they
life.
did all that work. Yeah, mates forever. Yeah.
The ball, a bit of a pack in the half-forward area now for Towns.
See, she's packed tight. They're all in about a 75
metre. They need to get
metre.
a couple of goals to make sure they have a bit of luck coming home, because Chapman Valley will have a strong breeze coming home this afternoon. But as they say, Glenn, you can't wait for the breeze to do it for you.
Exactly right. So the umpires have been working hard. Lots and lots of ball-ups this afternoon, but GNFL umpires Claire Knight and Steve Pratt doing a wonderful job, as they do weekly. Still a bit of a shortage of umpires, so if you're looking to take up umpiring, the GNFL would love to hear from you, see you, and get involved, because it's a great opportunity to improve your fitness and make a little bit of cash on the side and enjoy yourself with a team environment. The umpires call themselves their 8th team, and they are. They work together. They train hard, they work hard, they play hard, and they do a great job to keep officiating at these games. Ball comes back into play. Tim Bodell has caught, but he didn't have any prior opportunity. The umpire says play on. A big pack develops, and again the umpire will come throw the ball up. So
you're right, Glenn and Peter. Like the umpiring this year, I've watched 3 or 4 games. They've been very good every game.
And I think what Glenn was saying earlier on, when there's only 2 of them, it tends to flow a lot better. And I think that happens in the AFL as well. These extra umpires tend to make them
over-officiate, don't they? They over-officiate.
Stop-start a lot. Yeah.
Who's this young lady, Glenn, that's umpiring?
Claire Knight.
No, she's good.
She's as good as any of the others, isn't she? Yeah.
So the ball in the half-forward area now for Towns. Bottling it up the defence for Chapman Valley, as you'd expect. Breeze in their face. They need to tack down the ground when they do get the ball. Ball coming out to this player here in Marquis. He's racking up kicks too, Pete, I think.
Yeah, he's going well.
Yeah, he's a good player, he's young Marquis.
Towns have only added 1 goal in this term. They need to kick 2 or 3 very quickly.
Here he goes, Marquis. He's looking for options up front. A mark here'd be good. Up they go. The taller defenders for Chapman Valley win out. Moving in is a Chapman Valley, I should say, Towns custodian, goes to ground. The play is allowed to go on as a kick is taken toward goal. It is a lovely kick, and it is kicked by...
Touch ball, they're saying.
Jalen Parsons, but let's see what the umpire says.
Umpire's asking the question, waiting on the call.
Goal.
It's a goal. Jalen Parsons.
Yep.
Scores a much-needed goal for Towns, and suddenly, Pete, it's game on.
Just to paint a picture to our viewers, like we've got it on video, but the whole of the 36 players are in the front half of the ground, defensive half of the ground then. So very hard. We spoke about this last week. Very hard to kick a goal, kick in the wind. You've got to run the ball, bounce the ball. Pretty hard to link play. But yeah, look, Towns are still hanging in there, aren't they? They're going to have to get a couple more to be in this game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. With Chapman Valley coming home with the breeze, they certainly need to probably get another goal or 2.
With a wet sail, let's say, Pete.
Yeah, exactly. So, all coming back to the middle. Jalen Parsons has been a pretty good player in the last... He played last season for Towns, didn't he, Glenn?
Yeah, I think so, but he's certainly come to more prominence this time. So just looking at the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Towns are now 4 goals, 5, 29. And they're trailing Chapman Valley 6 goals, 5, 41. So it's a 12-point ball game, and we're into time on in this second term. In this third term, the Premiership quarter, the Drennan O'Malley Motors quarter, and Towns player caught in possession there. Ringo McKenna, good tackle on Kayla Marquis. Plays on now does Ringo McKenna. Kicks it up towards the teeth of goal. And Drew Forrester, the captain of the Towns side, takes a good strong mark. Drew Forrester goes out wide looking for the veteran. And Rowan Farris. Rowan Farris gets his kick forward up towards centre wing. Looking there for a teammate. Towns player put under pressure. Ball smothered off the boot, very close to the boundary line. Chapman Valley, can they mop up? They can. Chapman Valley defence go towards centre wing. Chapman Valley get a kick forward now, up towards the forward pocket, up and towards the centre wing, just in front of the Farrell stand, in fact. And a big pack around the ball. Umpire Pratt will come in and throw the ball up. So Good bit of play there. Chapman Valley got the ball back towards the forward line. Chapman Valley have kicked 1 goal against the Breeze this quarter, and Towns have kicked 2 goals with the Breeze. So 12 points the margin. Goes the way of Kobe Simpson. He gets it out to a teammate. Chapman Valley have it again, and Chapman Valley go forward through Oakley Criddle. Oakley Criddle kicks it up towards half forward, but a good mark by Drew Forrester. And Drew Forrester, who played good Country Week footy last year for Great Northern, playing well again this afternoon.
Sporting a different haircut this year, so obviously he's like not like Daniel in the Lions' Den. Hasn't affected his game, that's for sure. Ball going forward now from the youngster there in Tyler Corlett. Puts it into space, but it is Oakley Criddle who gets it for Chapman Valley. On the half forward line now, they go forward. Running onto it almost. He does well, does the youngster in Kane Simpson.
Got the ball on a string, hasn't he?
He has got it on a string, and at the end of the string is Kim Schofield. Schofield sees a lead. I don't know if that's 15, but umpire's paying it. And a mark is taken by Brett Robinson.
Close enough's good enough, Peter. So a good bit of play there from Brett Robinson. Brett Robinson has the ball 40 metres out.
15 metres.
No, it wasn't 15 metres, Peter. You were right. It was battling to be 10. So Brett Robinson has the ball, 40 metres out, shooting on goal, kicks into the man on the mark, back into the air. Drew Forrester's there, runs away with the ball, does well. Forrester kicks it up towards centre wing. In goes Bo Simpson, couldn't put a handle on it, goes back in and retrieves it. He gets driven into the ground, and Bo Simpson will take the free kick on centre wing on the Farrell balcony side of the ground. So the Chapman Valley crowd would have been pretty happy with Bo Simpson's effort there. He kicks it up the ground, looking there for another young player, Mick Horseman, a very, very talented young player. And his uncle Rob is watching the game this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, Rob. Gets it up forward, goes the way now of a Chapman Valley player who's tackled high. And Brett Robinson, who kicked into the man on the mark a few moments ago.
He did, he's getting another bite of the cherry, isn't he?
He's very lucky. Bo Walker's saying, did he really deserve that, to the umpire? And Bo Simpson is at the other end of the ground. Bo Walker stands the mark, and Brett Robinson shoots on goal this time, and it fades away to the other side. Another minus score. So a minus score for Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard. They're 6 goals, 6-42, and they lead Towns 4 goals, 5-29.
Pete, you thought it was going to be a big margin in this game. I mean, there is a quarter to go, but Towns are holding sway, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're hanging in there.
The ball comes forward as Towns have the ball on the half-forward line now through Jaden Davis. He goes with a handball, but gives Chapman Valley opportunity to go towards the boundary line and negate the wind, put the ball out of play, so another boundary throw-in just on the half-forward line, the end to which Towns are going. The clubroom side of Mazzucchelli Oval. Oval looking beautiful, pretty good conditions apart from the wind, and everyone here is hoping for some big rain in the next 24 and 48 hours to come through and help get the crops out of the ground, which is a very big thing. And while we're talking about getting crops out of the ground, we must thank our sponsors today, Great Southern Fuels, who provide the broadcast truck here for the Classic Clash this afternoon.
Yeah, filming footy. You'll find us on YouTube.
Pete, you felt I felt earlier that I thought that Rowers would, Chapman Valley would break away, but they haven't. And Towns, to their credit, have worked extremely hard. So what is the score? What's the difference there, Glenn? 2 goals.
Yeah, 2 goals.
Yeah, so
1.
Good stuff.
Yeah, in the context of this match, as the ball comes inboard now, Kobe Simpson takes a pretty strong mark, a courageous mark, walking back into play there. And
might have rattled his head a bit because he does have a bit of trouble with concussion.
He does.
If he's AFL, they'd take him off and we wouldn't see him again.
The doctor would be running out right now. So Kobe Simpson decides to go laterally, and I think it's Oakley Criddle who he finds further afield. It goes away now of Thompson.
Where do you go now?
Thompson. He's let them all come into position, as you've alluded to, Pete. Should have been on the run. I don't know why they don't run with the ball, even in the AFL. The ball into the half-forward area now. Puts people out of position, makes things able to think about things, and the time ticks away as the ball goes back the way of Towns now. Into the half-forward area by Rowan Farris, who's gone right down the ground. He kicks into the defender's arms and back to Kobe Simpson where it began. Kobe goes back out again. He's looking for Jaden Schofield. In fact, it's Kim Schofield. Probably BOG this afternoon, but Ringo McKenna wouldn't be far behind him. Ball coming down the line now and finds Simpson. young Simpson.
It's a long way home, isn't it? It's about 8 or 9 kicks into the wind.
It is.
2 with the wind.
Well, if that. Ball coming forward now. Rowan Farris putting on the pressure. And he gets the ball in the end, gets it to a teammate. In fact, that player who had the ball there was Clune, Josh Clune. I apologise, Josh. The ball into space now. Towns have it. The mark has been taken further down the ground. The ball will be taken now by Thorne. He kicks it into the half-forward area. Towns can set something up here as they go further afield. A nice big kick into the full-forward area. Gee, that was a beautiful kick, but not accurate enough. And through for the minor score. And that was a kick there, a big kick by Lockie Morphew. Was unsuccessful on that occasion.
So 12 points the margin, and on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, Towns are 4 goals, 6, and that is 30. They trail Chapman Valley 6 goals, 6-42. We're into time on in this third quarter, the Premiership quarter. Chapman Valley will have the breeze at their back, and Towns, they've added a couple of goals in this quarter. Probably needed added a few more. You would think they would need to be in front at three-quarter time to win the game. But they're holding on. They're doing well. Ball goes the way of Chapman Valley. They get it up from Jaden Schofield, gets it up the ground and picks out Chapman Valley player there in Paper Talk. He plays on now. Gets a big kick up into the wards, a forward pocket. Beautiful mark. Running with the flight of the ball is Ringo McKenna. Ringo McKenna. Gerard is his real name. Ringo is what he goes by. Ringo McKenna kicks his ball up towards centre wing. Up goes Simpson. Couldn't mark the ball. Ball comes to the ground. In goes Callum Paper Talk. Ball around. They're like very one over the top of the ball. Umpire Pratt will come in and throw the ball up.
UFC scene there, Glenn.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was, everyone was in it. So
Conor McGregor, eat your heart out.
This young Simpson, Kane Simpson's got a little bit of Liam Ryan-esque in it.
Oh, yes. I was thinking that a little bit earlier on, Pete. He moves just like him, doesn't he?
Goes the way of Callum Paper Talk and Tyron Paper Talk. Ball comes out to Towns. Towns go out towards the boundary line. Looking out there was Reece Adderetti. Comes back in from Chapman Valley, right towards the teeth of goal. Up they go. In goes Callum Paper Talk. He claims the mark. Umpire said you didn't get the first grab of it, Callum, so I'll throw the ball up. So the ball will be thrown up just metres from goal. Can Chapman Valley get another late goal?
So we playing footy or rugby here, Glenn?
It's very similar, isn't it? Yes. So it's very, very tough. There's about 18 players around the ball at the moment. Comes the way of the player there in Rowan Farris. Gets it up towards Joshua DeLacy for Towns. DeLacy steadies things down. Time may be running out for Towns to get another goal. They need to kick one quickly as they get it up towards centre wing.
Rowan Farris at 42, playing at both ends of the ground. Well, he's not 42, but he's one of the oldest players on the field, and he's
feels like that tomorrow.
Fit.
Feels like that tomorrow, Pete.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't he? Not much of him. Ball coming inboard now. Goes the way of Kobe Simpson. Kobe Simpson sends it over to Ringo McKenna. Chapman Valley keen to get a score on the board before the three-quarter time break. Jaden Schofield gets one of few possessions this afternoon. Kicks it up to Simpson. Up he goes, the youngster. He's pulled down in the attempt. Umpire said nothing in that. Goes away at Faithful now. Faithful in front of the Chapman Valley Faithful. Sends it down, and the ball is marked by Tim Bodell.
Tim Bodell goes to play on. He does so now. Big kick up towards half forward. Kicks an ordinary one. Goes into the arms of Bo Simpson.
He's been good today, hasn't he, Glenn?
Oh, he's been unreal.
He's very reliable, Bo Simpson. He was very strong in Rovers' last couple of seasons, and especially in their premiership season a couple of years ago.
And Kobe Simpson, who got a head-high clash earlier, he looks fine now. He gets a kick across the ground. Picks out Jaden Thompson. Jaden Thompson, the fullback, plays on, looking for Nick Mosley. Nick Mosley marks on centre wing, just in front of the scoreboard here at Nabawa. And there's the siren, three-quarter time at the football, and an interesting scoreline as we head into the last quarter. And the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, Chapman Valley, a 6 goals, 6-42. They lead Towns 4-6-30, 12-point margin in favour of the Royals. And you're tuned to Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football.
Adrenaline.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals, and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
For a limited time only, we've got Honda generators, free delivery until the end of this month of March only. They're super compact, reliable Japanese generators. For more information, check out our website or give us a call.
Umpiring. It is for everyone.
My name's Nick Essler. I'm the National Operations Manager for Blue Diamond Machinery. I've been with the business for 18 months. Blue Diamond Machinery, we've got a great team environment. We encourage input from all of our staff, from warehouse workers to electricians to engineers and sales team, to help us move our customers towards a cleaner future. So we're looking to fill the roles of electrical technicians, both within our production areas and field service, mechanical technicians to support our growing fleet, warehouse workers nationally, fabricators and sheet metal workers to help support our new Blue Diamond engineering facility opening up in Henderson this year. If you'd like to help us deliver quality products, great service and help transition the industry to a cleaner future, we'd love to hear from you.
Other games shortly with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. But looking at this game here at three-quarter time, Chapman Valley kicked 1-1 against the Breeze. Towns kicked 2-2 with the Breeze. We think the Breeze is probably worth 3 to 4 goals. And Chapman Valley, 6 goals, 6-42. Lead Towns, 4 goals, 6-30. 12 points the margin in favour of the home side. For Chapman Valley, Kane Simpson in his debut game for the Royals has kicked 2. Ringo McKenna, Jay Colgate, Jay O'Brien and Lee Hutchins have kicked 1 apiece. Towns goals, Jaden Davis has kicked 1, Tim Bodell 1, Bo Walker 1 and Jalen Parsons 1. So it's been a pretty entertaining game of footy, Peter, and looking forward to a good last quarter. Chapman Valley will have the Breeze at their back.
Yeah, it's a 12-point margin, but we didn't think that, generally we didn't think that as a group, as a collective, at the beginning of the game that it would be this close. But one would think that Chapman Valley should break away in the final term. They've got about a 4-goal Breeze at their back, but a lot of credit must go to Towns, and especially defence. They do the 1%ers, as I mentioned this morning on Sportshed Saturday. They know how to do them well, and they've continued to do that in the first 3 quarters of this match. Glenn, tomorrow Forenza on Sunday. Hopefully catching up with Paul Brown. He's in the livestock industry and he'll be talking about the march on Perth yesterday in relation to the sheep trade, the live sheep trade. Dr. Ian Taylor will also be joining us. But Glenn, also there is a story unfolding as we speak, and we'll have it tomorrow, hopefully, on Sportshed Saturday exclusively, that the Perth airport has run out of aviation fuel.
Yes.
And so what's happened is they've had to land in Geraldton to be topped up. So we've had a few big planes have to make diversions to
amazing, isn't it?
Geraldton Airport.
There's something wrong with the machinery, is there, in Perth?
Yeah, something like that. But we'll find out tomorrow when we catch up with the powers that be and probably Chief Executive Officer Ross McKim tomorrow. Forenza on Sunday. Back to the action.
Yes, it's the last quarter and we're underway this last term with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. And the ball is thrown up in the centre by umpire Knight, picked up by the 50-game man in Mitch Thompson, gets it up towards half forward. Ball taken there by Lee Hutchins. Lee Hutchins in the orange boots, plays on now, kicks it in towards the forward pocket where he finds Tyron Papertalk. And Tyron Papertalk is marked. And he's a very, very lively forward, is Tyron. So Tyrone Paper Talk ball is marked deep in the forward pocket at the city end of the ground, or the southern end of the ground. So Tyrone Paper Talk right on the boundary line, so you wouldn't see a lot of sunlight from where he is. It'll be a very difficult kick. There goes his kick. Looks pretty good. Goal umpire signals 1 point only. And on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard, we see Chapman Valley go to 6 goals 7, which is 43. They lead the town side 4 goals 6-30. As we go around the grounds with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. We can tell you up at Percher International Oval at 3/4 time, Railways are on target to have a wind. Railways are 12-7. They lead Northampton 7-5.
Interesting scorelines coming from around the GNFL in this particular round. Glenn, it's not too far away to Country Week either. The season is well and truly unfolding as the ball is marked in the middle of the ground.
Byron Holt.
Byron Holt has taken the mark. Peter has rejoined us. Better players in the last term for you, Pete?
Joe O'Brien's, Ringo McKenna, Kim Schofield and the Simpsons. Morphew was excellent in the ruck. DeRosa, Marquis.
What do you call a group of Simpson players that play well? A simplex. So here they go now. Byron Holt, he's going to kick it probably about 45, 50 metres. It's a nice straight kick. It might drop short. Comes off hands at the back of the pack. Can someone get a boot to it? Towns defenders working overtime. You reckon they'd take it through for a minor score, but maybe they're a little bit further away from the goal.
It's like playing British Bulldog in the schoolyard, isn't it? It's a lot of that.
You would have been good at that, Glenn, because you would have got in and under quite a bit.
Yes, well, only way to get a kick.
So the ball about to be thrown up metres away from the goal for Chapman Valley. Hard to see who's actually got it, but trying to get it to a boot. Pack after pack as the ball goes away now. The defenders for Towns out into space, going away. Towns now, but there is Kobe Simpson. He's been right down the ground, the defender. He's on even in front of the half line here at Mazzucchelli Oval here this afternoon. And no one says, the umpire says nothing in that. Bit of push and shove here. There was a bit of push and shove just before, I think it was quarter time here this afternoon. Players getting a little bit frayed, but getting a bit tired now. And Kobe Simpson is the recipient of a free kick. He's going to back himself here, or is he? No, he's spied someone a little bit closer. Up they go. Yes, a nice mark.
Didn't play on the
Paper Talk almost took a mark.
Yeah.
But the ball goes to ground, and we throw it up once again.
Umpire Knight throw the ball into the air. Still waiting on a score from the game out at Rovers. And just gone quarter time. We're still waiting on the 3/4 time score from the game there at Rovers. And Rovers have the win in the last quarter. And Brigades, 8 goals, 10-58 lead Rovers, 3 goals, 2-20. So that's the score there. A point on the scoreboard for Chapman Valley. So another score for Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley, 6 goals, 8-44. They lead Towns, 4 goals, 6-30.
Yeah, not a big scoring game here this afternoon.
It's just the same, isn't it? It's this congested football, very hard. It hasn't opened up really all day. The wide expanses haven't utilised it.
We were talking about this the other day. I'm sure the coaches like it. It's structures and they like all that sort of stuff, but it's not great for the spectators.
No, it's not a pretty. And I think it's AFL has driven this on in the old days. And I don't mean to talk about the old days, but you did have a full forward, centre forward. And even if you played someone at centre forward to have some link, but you can't run the ball up the ground and run it.
Oh, that was a nice kick.
It just doesn't make for a pretty spectacle, does it?
So it's another point.
I think that was Jaden Schofield. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Joe O'Brien, I think.
So 6-9-45. Chapman Valley lead Towns 4-6-30 on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard.
Ball coming out of defence now.
Good mark.
Towns, and another mark taken by Kobe Simpson. He's taken a few this afternoon. And 2 in succession from the same spot too. He'll go laterally on this occasion, or Willie goes around the player on the mark. A nice big kick by Kobe Simpson. It's right into the goal square. Up they go. Well, Chapman Valley almost got a hand to it, but defender, Forrester, geez, good, isn't he? He puts it onto his boot and gets it out of danger, Glenn.
And we know that Rovers have the breeze in the last quarter. Can they get up over the top of Brigades? They trail by 6 goals. It'll be a big quarter from Rovers if they can get there.
It'll be a pretty big quarter.
Yeah, right. Very low scoring games today because of the wind, but Railways are doing all right. Railways 12-7. Lead Northampton 7-5, and Northampton made about 9 changes today from their side last week. I hope the wedding's good.
Yeah, hope it's beer's tasting good, boys.
The ball goes the way of Kim Schofield. He gets shoved forward, goes the way of Bo Simpson, Bo Simpson, he's like a jack-in-the-box, isn't he? He's had everything. Comes the way of Towns now. Towns get the ball forward. They go backwards to go forward, and it comes the way of Callum Marquis. Throws it on his left boot, gets it forward. Towns player in a bit of bother now. He's got a couple of Chapman Valley blokes very close to him. A pack develops, and once again, a big crew around the ball in the centre of the ground. So Chapman Valley on target to get another win today if they can hang on. They lead at the moment 45-30, so a 15-point margin.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago, Wongan Hills, we were going to watch the great horse race after, I think we went down to watch the junior football.
We did, yeah.
Big horse race, and was it...
Winx.
No, it wasn't Winx, it was the other one.
The other one, Black Caviar.
Black Caviar. And we went into a pub in Wongan Hills, and it was something that Bo Simpson wasn't waiting for, because he wasn't of age, and he was sitting in the pub having a look at the race just like we were.
Well, that's right, exactly. So he's loves his footy, doesn't he? And doing really good stuff here at the moment. So the ball has an opportunity. It's at the end which Towns wanted in this quarter. Towns have it in their forward 50. Boundary umpire to put the ball back into play. Broadcast the side of the ground, which is where all the club rooms are, comes forward. Towns have it now through Bodell.
Whoa.
And he's tackled. The umpire said no, it was Bodell. We don't give him a free kick. Ball goes forward, and it goes to another Towns player. He's tackled, and whistle on play. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up.
Come on, Glenn, have a word to him. Your man got tackled hard then.
I'll have a talk to Freddie after the game.
Goal for,
I can't believe he didn't get a free kick.
I should say for Towns. If they score here, it is certainly going to be quite interesting as we go into the final stages of this game. I'm about to throw it up. The big shadow's starting to grow here at Mazzacali Oval, and big ruckman for Chapman Valley knocks it down, goes toward the boundary. In fact, it threw for the minor score, so that minor score could mean something in the final analysis. Ball coming out of defence now. The veteran, Paul Sorensen. On the way of Oakley Criddle. Gee, the bounce wasn't kind for Criddle, but he did get it in the end. Over to Bo Simpson. Simpson in turn gets it to a teammate who goes down the ground. Looking pretty good on this occasion is Thompson. Thompson sends it into the half-forward area. Up goes that player, almost to take the mark. Would have been a nice one by Callum Papertalk. He's almost taken a couple of marks this afternoon that looked pretty specky, but the ball comes back and on the half-back line and with Josh Clune. Josh Clune, a part of the royal family. He's about to send the ball down the line. Not 15 metres, but the umpires don't seem to bother about that these days. Ball coming inboard. Rowan Farris. He's looking into the sun, so missed the intended target, goes to ground, picked up by Chapman Valley. Going through now pretty quickly was Brett Robinson. He gets it to a teammate. He in turn gets it to Lee Hutchins. Hutchins got a big goal in the first term.
Got another one.
He's got another big goal in the last term. Lee Hutchins, you beauty. That's another big goal for Chapman Valley, and it is a great goal for the Royals and sees them advance here at Mazzacali Oval.
So Lee Hutchins gets his second goal of the afternoon. Two beautiful goals. And on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard now, Chapman Valley 7 goals 9, 51. Lead Towns 4 goals 6-30. So a good bit of play there. And Peter, going back to what you said right at the very start, use the ball, use it well, use it long, and that's what Lee Hutchins done on both occasions.
It's the old story. If it's down there, it's already there.
Yes.
I mean, it's just modern football, and maybe I'm wrong, but when you hang on the football and chip it around, why not just get the ball down there? Especially on a day like today. And I think
the more time you handle the ball, the more time you're going to make and turn it over, aren't
That's
you?
right. I would have liked to have seen Towns have a full forward, just stay in the square like the number 21. I can't remember. I've lost Davis, is it? The big fella. Stay in the square, kick the ball, give him a target. But anyway.
Parsons or Davis.
Parsons,
they're up there, yeah,
Parsons,
they are.
The big fella.
Yes. So the ball back in the middle now. Chapman Valley the last to score. They haven't been given it on a plate here this afternoon. I know the game's not over, but one would think that the Royals will run this out here at Nabawar this afternoon. On this special occasion, the 50th anniversary of the 74 Premiership side. Owen Simpkins, of course, came from Northampton over to Chapman Valley because he missed out on the coaching job in his own territory, Glenn.
That's right. A big story, of course. He went to East Perth and played with some success, came back, and he was the only bloke that ever played Country Week without ever playing a GNFL game that year. As we see Lee Hutchins this time off target when he shoots on goal. Yeah, he didn't play, but they knew how good he was. He didn't have to play home and away games. He just went to Country Week because he was able to play, because he was able to do it. Owen Simpkin. So Owen Simpkin is the coach of the three-side premiership at Chapman Valley.
We must be close, Glenn, to picking the Country Week squad, are we?
Yeah, I think Leith would have already be pretty well across that. Yeah, there's some good players into the competition this year too, Peter, so it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they make themselves available. There's a few players that are playing footy week in, week out. They haven't gone on their European sojourn yet, but it's only early days. Some of them haven't. There are some that have, but hopefully there's a few that are still around. Maybe they can't afford to go Europe every year. Maybe they just have to go every second year.
We've got the cattle to get into A grade again and be competitive. We'd just like to have everyone, like you said,
to get everyone available. Yeah.
Now with the Schofield boys, Flynn Dillon, etc.
And the Simpson boys.
Yes. You know, there's a couple of Rovers guys. And Brigades. There's a good squad.
Well, it certainly would be, and we've certainly got the competition to meet the demands of Country Week's first division. But the team
got to get our best side first.
We get our best side. That's the important thing. A bit of a pack development. We've been saying that a lot in this game this afternoon, Glenn. It's been
this has been clear sailing compared to the game last week, wasn't it, Peter? Last week we saw the Brigades and Railways. That was just unbelievable, the amount of
Let's hope it's not what we're going to see a lot of in the future, because we certainly don't want to see games with stoppages of this sort of magnitude. Because it's
changing the whole context of what footy is about, isn't it?
And it's a spectator sport, and we want it to stay that way. And certainly this type of style of football doesn't lend itself to spectators actually liking it. The ball over the boundary now, coming back. In fact, it's a free kick going the way of Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley, if they get a goal here, one would think that may be enough. He's going to the dying stages of the final term here at Naboo. A nice kick, and that is Jaden Schofield. Jeez, it was a nice kick, but unlucky, and through for the minor score. Interesting, Jaden Schofield not doing much this afternoon. I don't know if he's under an injury cloud. I saw him running around earlier before the game. He didn't look like he was hampered at all.
Probably been a player they've looked after and cut him out. But the thing is, with Chapman, there are enough other players around to do the job. It's not left to Jaden to do it all. And the good opportunity there. But well done for Townsby cutting him out. But you've still got the other 19 you have to worry about, don't you?
Certainly. We said earlier on, Drew McGregor was on him, but I think they've swapped different players on him throughout the afternoon.
They've probably just been rotating players through him, I'd say.
Yeah.
But looking at the scoreboard, into this last quarter, we've played some 12 minutes in this last term with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. And Chapman Valley now 7 goals, 10-52 to Towns, 4 goals, 6-30. So that's 17 scoring shots to 10, which is probably fair for the way the scoreboard has been. So Chapman Valley still in control and still look destined to win this game. And, they'll be pretty happy to take the 4 points. And Chapman Valley will stay on top of the premiership table if they do.
The breeze seems to have stopped a little bit here in this particular quarter.
Hard to say without the windsock, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it could be switched around a little bit more too and be more in a...
But it doesn't seem to be blowing, like you say.
From a northerly direction, but not as strong. Doesn't seem as strong in the first half as it was in the first half of the game. The ball is a little bit away from a broadcast position, has been for the majority of this particular term. Players going up into space now. Chapman Valley running on to it. They do have the ball, or do they? Going back the way of Hutchins. He scored a beautiful goal a moment ago. In fact, it was
good footy.
Beautiful pass.
Corridor goes the way of that player, and that player was Brett Robinson, and he scores. I think might be a sealer for his side this afternoon.
Yeah, 13 minutes gone now. Brett Robinson gets his goal and gets his club's goal. So Brett Robinson gets his first
very
goal
reliable
of the afternoon.
Player there, Pete.
Yeah, he's a good handy player. He's not young, is he? He's closer to 40 than 30, I think.
I'd have to be. He played 3 premierships for Subiaco, so he's a pretty handy and clever player. But he's very fit. You should watch him train. And it's a good thing, good lesson to young players, Peter, how those players can still be playing at that age and still be so... it's just beautiful to watch him train. He just runs and runs and runs and runs. And he does it in sequences. He knows particularly what he's doing. Well, it makes it good.
The Chapman Valley, they've got 3 or 4 very fit guys, the Schofield boys especially, and there's a reason why they're fit, and there's a reason why they're good, because they train hard and they play hard.
And you do individual work yourself too, Pete, and
you have to.
You to give yourself that edge. Ball back in the middle now. Last goal scored by Brett Robinson for Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley going to see another win here, and they'll sit pretty on the premiership table this afternoon as the ball goes forward. But it's Towns who get on this occasion off the boot, but only as far as that player there, and Thompson inside the corridor. Ball goes further afield from Jay O'Brien. Gee, I like the way he plays, Jay O'Brien. He's a very serviceable player now into the full forward area it goes. And the mark is taken there by Chapman Valley. So Chapman Valley will have a shot on goals. Is this Colgate?
Colgate,
yes.
yep.
Colgate, I won't think you'd get this one because he's a goal sneak and a half.
He's kicked one this afternoon. We've seen him kick at least 2 others.
We have,
points.
and he certainly knows how to kick a pretty ball, that's for sure. So Colgate lining up now. He's about 25 metres out when he gets onto this one. But he doesn't need much. He doesn't need, or the distance won't affect him in this game this afternoon. So Colgate kicking toward the southern end.
He's missed it.
A bit of a shank on that occasion.
On the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Chapman Valley are 8 goals 11, 59, and they lead Towns 4 goals 630. So we've got a 29-point margin in favour of Chapman Valley. Chapman Valley have kicked 2 goals in this quarter, and Towns have yet to trouble the scorer, but Towns are going against the breeze, and we know how difficult it is to score against the breeze. Ball now with Towns in defence. So Towns have an opportunity to move the ball off half back. Towns get it up through Collette, gets it up towards a teammate there, and William Thorne. William Thorne kicks it around the corner, finds a teammate. That teammate under pressure, gets rid of the ball just at the nick of time. Goes back to Towns, and William Thorne comes back across towards the centre wing, comes back to Towns again, and Towns finding it hard to get it off half back. They do so now through Forrester. He goes out wide and gives it the way there of Payden Mason. He gets it up the ground, and Towns can go forward now. They have it on centre wing, club room side, going to the northern end. Chapman Valley player read the ball well there, and a good bit of play taken by Chapman Valley's player Mick Horseman. Mick Horseman goes back, good young player. Goes up towards centre half forward, looking up there for a teammate. Ball goes to ground again. Towns have it. They flick it out. Goes the way now of Towns, who get it up through Mason. Goes the way of a Chapman Valley player who slips over the crucial stage in Kane Simpson, I should say. And Towns get out of trouble. Do it well. Get it up towards a teammate running forward, William Faithful. A beautiful tackle. So Chapman Valley advantage rule paid. Byron Holt gets it up the ground, gets it to to Kim Schofield, back towards Byron Holt. Beautiful kick up towards full forward, and Callum Papertalk shoots on goal, and Chapman Valley get their 9th goal of the afternoon. And on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Chapman Valley are 9 goals 11, 65. And they lead Towns 4 goals 630. So Chapman Valley kicked 3 goals in this quarter and put the final nail in the coffin of Towns with that one. Good bit of play from Byron Holt. Ran on, kicked the big ball, and well picked up by Callum Papertalk.
Then next week, what do the fixtures look like?
Looking at round 7 next weekend for Iluka. Mullawa play Rovers at Mullawa Oval. That's our Drennan O'Malley Motors game of the day. Mullawa and Rovers both chasing their first victory. One of them will win unless they have a draw. Towns play Northampton at WA Country Builders Stadium. So that's a big game for Towns again. And Chapman Valley play Brigades at Mazzuchelli Oval. So another big game at Mazzuchelli Oval. Chapman Valley play the majority of their home games in the first half of the season. So Chapman Valley got to make hay while the sun shines, while they're playing footy in their home ground.
Northampton must be in the same boat because they've played Railways twice up there at Northampton.
Yeah, that's right.
Ball back in the middle now, players setting themselves up. They go. Chapman Valley get out of the middle quickly. Ball coming off the boots of that player, Jared McKenna. He's been good this afternoon. But it's Towns who get it eventually on the half-back line. That player is slung to the ground. That's Farris, but nothing in that, says the umpire. Going back the way now of player in Schofield to a teammate down the line and finds Hutchins again. Now, Hutchins has scored from way out from the big sticks earlier, so this is nice and close for him. He's on a 45-degree angle, though. Yeah, 45-degree angle. Probably looks a bit tighter from our position. But he looks pretty confident, Lee Hutchins. He kicks towards the southern end for goal. Number 3 for him. Let's see if he can do it. In he comes with his pink boots. That's not a bad kick.
That's a very good kick.
Straight through the middle. And that's the 3rd goal for Lee Hutchins. He's a goal machine for Chapman Valley this afternoon. And on the Batavia Timber and Selby scoreboard, Chapman Valley now 10 goals 11, which is 71. And they lead Towns 4 goals 630. So the margin's blown out to a 41-point margin in favour of the Royals. It's going to be a Royals win, but what can Towns take out of this game today?
Well, I'm not sure. It's very ultra defensive, aren't they? Like, I mean, they work hard to try and stop the route, and they have stopped the outside run and that to a certain degree till this quarter. just probably haven't got the cattle, the forward. They haven't got a key forward they can kick the ball to. I don't know. What do you think, boys?
You're the expert, Pete. That's why I invite you.
Well, that's what I think. I mean, they're just very, very defensive at the moment. I keep saying it, but if you haven't got a key forward or a big forward to kick to, it makes it difficult. They're winning the ruck all day.
They certainly are. The ball out of the middle now, and it's been pretty even, isn't it, really, as far as they're winning the ruck, but it is probably even as it comes out of the middle. As it goes back the way of this one, Kane Simpson. He's been a revelation here this afternoon. Nice kick into the half-forward area, but held off by the defence for Towns, or is it? Ball in dispute. Towns defender running in again, and a free kick going the way of the Bulldogs. They go laterally now to the outer side. Ball out there now. Picked up by Josh Clune. Clune now sends it down the line. It's picked up now off the half-back line. With Clune again, he's going to come down. He's almost met head on by his opposite number. Loses possession, but Towns have it again. Or do they?
One thing you can't complain about is their endeavour. They certainly don't
keep working, don't
all day, and it's, I think in the future we're putting some games into these young guys. I'd like to see a big key forward or a centre-half forward if they could get one, but they don't grow on trees.
DeLacy, a nice kick into the half-forward area, or just short of that.
Good stuff.
A nice mark is taken, Byron Holt.
He's been good again this afternoon.
Nice young fellow, this bloke. I coached him. He's a beautiful young bloke.
Byron Holt kicks it inboard.
Not a good kick.
It wasn't a great kick, but almost got to where he wanted it to. But back to Lockie Morphew now. Through luck more than anything. Ball on the side goes to DeLacy again. He puts it onto his boot. He sends it naturally across the ground. Players misjudging the bounce, but eventually DeRosa comes out with the ball. LaRosa, I should say. He meets two opponents, gets it away to DeLacy again. Going one way, then the other, and then back again at Towns as they go laterally to the outer side. There's Clune. Down the line he goes. He's looking for Marquis. Marquis finds it. Just gets it inside the boundary. Back to Clune. Clune has it now down the line. Looking for support. The player couldn't take the mark, and off the halfback line is picked up by the Chapman Valley custodian, who was tripped in his endeavour to get the ball, and he's a recipient of the free kick, and we're talking about Byron Holt.
Byron Holt decides to go down the centre to open up the game. Kicks it towards the centre of the ground. Chapman Valley player knocks the ball forward. Goes the way of Walker. Goes the way of Marquis. Marquis gets it up towards half forward, where the mark is taken by Cale Corlett. He goes on with a short pass, finds Rowan Farris. Farris centres the ball picks out a teammate there. Good pass and a good mark. And the mark is taken there by the player we've talked about a bit this afternoon, Jalen Parsons. So Jalen Parsons has marked 30 metres out, about 15 metres in from the boundary line, kicking towards the northern end of the ground. He's in the right forward pocket.
There's a big line
now. So a big kick from Jalen Parsons. He's a big player. There goes his kick. Pretty good effort. Off hands and a good mark taken there by Bo Walker. And Chapman Valley defenders found themselves out of sorts in that occasion. And Bo Walker, who's
they were watching him and he was watching the ball.
Yeah, no, that's right. And Bo Walker, who's been very good again around
another
goals.
Another check side kick.
So Bo Walker, he kicked one earlier. He goes backwards looking for Tim Bodell. And Tim Bodell was left on his own. So Chapman Valley defence a little bit lax there. So the ball goes the way.
Close one.
So the ball is with Bodell, who will shoot on goal from 25 metres. And Jay O'Brien will stand his mark.
Back your man in, Glenn.
Yeah, Tim will do it from here. Tim Bodell lining up for goal number 2. He's kicked a couple of points this afternoon. He's been serviceable. And he's certainly done his job as he usually does. Bodell sets sail for home. And he's offline. So he let me down again. So the ball to be brought back into play. And Towns now go to 4 goals, 7-31. They trail Chapman Valley 10-11-71 on the Batavia Timber and Salvage scoreboard.
Down the line from Sorensen, straight as a die, down the middle. The mark isn't taken. 2 players wanted to get purchase of the ball. The umpire said nothing in that. So sun having an impact on the game. A sun-drenched oval. Let's hope it's nice and soaked in the next couple of hours, as the rain is expected here in the Midwest. Storms are brewing, as we believe, off the coast. But we'll see it, we'll believe it when we see it. So the ball coming back now with the umpire. It's just been stoppage after stoppage here today. Up they go. Chapman Valley get the knock first, going back the way of playing Colgate, who's come right down the ground to get the ball. Free kick has been awarded, and it will go the way of Towns. Towns player tackle a little high, comes further afield, finds a player there. Jalen Parsons and Tim Bodell. So Tim Bodell's going to have another shot on goal. He's going to be looking directly into the sun. So he goes short and finds the player there in Jaden Davis. So Jaden Davis on a much better angle, but still looking into the sun as we go to the latter stages of this particular game.
Yeah, we're into time on late in the last quarter. This last quarter with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants.
Hello to Grant, getting ready for tax time, no doubt.
So he's going to be a busy man, as Jaden Davis is at the moment. Jaden Davis lining up for goal. Can Towns get their first goal of the term and narrow the margin? So Jaden Davis, important kick. Towns have been pretty tenacious, as they always are. There goes the kick. It'll fade away to the right-hand side. No, it's a goal. Umpire saying it's a minus score.
Moving.
Wait on the decision.
He's conferring with the central umpire.
Need a review.
We need the review.
That's
Umpire's saying
it's a goal. Come on.
It's a goal.
Yes, it's a goal.
Yeah.
So a goal there to Towns, and a good bit of play there from Jalen Parsons, who kicked that goal, was it? Or Jaden Davis? Jaden Davis. Jaden Davis.
You just feel, fellas, if Towns had a bit of flair, a couple of guys with a real bit of flair, because they're certainly workhorses, aren't they? They work their guts.
Work very hard. So 20 minutes, Jaden Davis.
I don't know, Pete, you're pretty good at keeping stats, but you're a lone sailor in doing that down the back there. But if we had inside 50s, I reckon it'd be pretty even here today.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, there's the siren. The siren has sounded, and full time in our match of the day for Drennan O'Malley Motors this last quarter, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants and Towns. They have got the last score of the afternoon, and it is an interesting scoreline. Chapman Valley 10-11-71 have defeated Towns 5-7-37, 5-7-37, and Chapman Valley 10-11-71. So an interesting scoreline, a very entertaining game of football, and you're tuned to Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football.
At Great Southern Fuels, we know fuel and we know service. We've been doing it for over 40 years. We're a family business, we employ locals, and we support the communities we operate in. But don't just take it from us. Hear what our customers have to say.
They're driven by local people. They're great community contributors.
We use Great Southern Fuels because they give us a fantastic service at the right price.
You can rely on them no matter what. It's just a phone call away and the tanks are full.
Why would you go anywhere else?
Great Southern Fuels. Reliability you can trust.
For a limited time only, we've got Honda generators, free delivery until the end of this month of March only. They're super compact, reliable Japanese generators. For more information, check out our website or give us a call.